everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and today we are going to be doing some meditation because that's what we do here at Evolve Yourself TV. I stream, I run you through some guided meditations, we discuss philosophy, we do all sorts of stuff. So basically, yeah, that's the main thing we're going to be doing today. How's everyone doing today? P. Barrow, what's going on with you? How's life with everyone? I hope everyone's having a day filled with love, joy, and abundance. I hope everyone's just having a really positive, good day today. If we're here, in the human condition, trying to get through life, might as well enjoy it if we can, right? If there's any way to do that, right? Some days we can, some days we can't. Um, oh, Bonnie's better. That's wonderful. That is so good to hear, P. Barrow. That is really, really good news. That's the best news I've heard all day. Well, I'm really happy to hear about that. And is there any time table on when she'll be discharged? My aunt Bonnie has been in the hospital, and it got pretty serious for a while. It got pretty serious for a while. Hopefully she'll be out soon, but it sounds good that she's getting better. It's definitely, it's always tough when a family member gets sick, and is in the hospital, especially like when they're old and you don't really know like what's going to happen if they're not in good health to begin with, right? That's always like a stressing thing on not just on you, but on your entire family, right? It's like you're as a collective, as a group, you have to deal with and navigate that space, that difficult space where you don't know what's going to happen, right? I think uncertainty is actually a major component of it, right? Because if you had certainty of either one thing was going to happen or the other thing was going to happen, she was going to live or die, or fully recover or not fully recover. If you had that kind of level of certainty, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But we don't know most of the time, right? And it's that not knowing that actually makes things difficult. She sounds great. Maybe 2 weeks. Needs to transfer safely. Yeah, it totally is a killer on the family. Well, 2 weeks, she can handle that. Hopefully she'll tough it out 2 more weeks, and then she'll get back, and everything will be good again, right? Yeah, it's so stressful when a family member goes down, right? In one way or another, right? We're always just trying to. I mean, it's hard. Life is hard enough, right? We're just trying to get by as it is, and then things happen to family members, and then we have to deal with that on top of that. So it just is an added thing, right? It's another thing that makes life more difficult at times. But we push through it. We push through it. We get through it, and then that's all you can do, right? Okay, good, good. So her husband now is able to visit. I believe he wasn't able to visit before prior to because of COVID-related issues. Hospitals have like crazy regulations and rules going on right now due to COVID, which it's understandable, but at the same time, like it's kind of crazy. My one of my friends' mom was in the hospital dying of cancer recently, and he was not allowed to go see her initially. Like it was fucking insane. She had like 20, like I don't know, 2 days to live maybe, and then they wouldn't even let her. They wouldn't even let him go see his own mother. So it was pretty wild. But then eventually, with enough prodding, they finally allowed him to go see her, and he was vaccinated too, which doesn't make much sense. Hey, Roko Hemda's here. Roko Hemda, how are you, brother? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your life is filled with abundance and love and joy. I just found out that my aunt is doing really well. She's recovering. She was in the hospital, so that's great news. It's just about the best news I could have right now. So that's good. Yeah, quarantine related issues right now, right? Yeah, what P. Bear was saying. Sometimes you gotta just you gotta quarantine. You gotta keep someone quarantined because they're in a compromised state, right? Their immune system can't handle it. They can't handle the possibility of getting COVID. So you keep them in a bubble. I mean, that's kind of what we got to do, right? We gotta just get a bunch of bubbles and put people in bubbles at this point. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting really frustrated, to be honest, with the whole COVID thing. Like, and I mean, it's just so frustrating. Like, my feeling is, what if it just gets worse every year? What if like every year, it gets like worse and worse, and there's more variants, and there's more issues, right? It could happen, right? This is a truth that we need to embrace. We need to like be ready for, right? Like, what happens if next year there's another variant out that like the vaccines don't work against, and then the year after that there's like something else out and it's even more virulent, right? And then the year after that there's something else. Like, I mean, it's eventually we're just gonna have to lock ourselves up, indoors, and like never leave our abodes. We're all gonna be living in bubbles pretty soon. I hope everyone's prepared for that. Go to Walmart right now and buy the best bubble they got, because that's where our society's going. I mean, I'm being half serious. Like, it's just it's a lot though, right? It's a lot, especially for extroverts, for people that need to be out, actually, engaging with people, face to face, right? I mean, to if this is the case, that this is going to go on the rest of our lives, I mean, and it could, look at the flu, right? Just the regular flu, right? Um, that mutates every year, and there's different strains out, and people get flu shots, but the difference being, the traditional flu is not as it's not as much of a killer. The traditional flu, you get the flu and then you get over it and then you're better, right? But like, with COVID, I mean, it's like you get that and you just never know. I mean, flip a fucking coin, if you're like over the age of like 50 or whatever, right? So we gotta be careful, and we gotta prepare, right? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with this COVID stuff. I invest heavily in recovery stocks though, and let me tell you, that bet has not paid off as well as I thought it would be. I kind of thought this was going to be a cleaner situation, in that, it's like, oh, we're just going to get the vaccines out, and then bam, and then everyone's going to be vaccinated and COVID will be done, and we can just go back to like walking around in public without a mask and like shaking people's hands. But it's not looking like that right now. It's not looking like that is going to be the case. I mean, this could go on. We'll see. We will see what happens. And then what happens if it goes on 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, and then people just get acclimated to it, and then it's like we just get masks, like, genetically grafted onto our face, put them in our mouth, right? At that point. I know that's kind of a disturbing thought, but that's just how it goes. All right. Is there anything else going on in chat, or should we just hop into the meditation? At this point, like, I don't really know if I have anything positive to say, other than prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Say, Sunrise Reads is here. Hello, Sunrise Reads. Hi, so good to see you. I got the pleasure of checking out Sunrise Stream's beach stream today. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. She was on the beach in Brazil, and just the most Rio de Janeiro, right? Yeah, and you were just hanging out, enjoying life, and it was cool, right? You were drinking coconuts, right? You were drinking from a coconut, then you got some kind of cocktail or coconut water or something like that. Yeah, it was wild there. Things are going wild where you live, right? It was like a big party. I didn't see the guys in the yellow shorts though. Where were those guys today? Like last time I was on your stream, I saw all those dudes in the yellow shorts, and the high vis yellow shorts, and I was saying that you should put on a pair of those shorts and just go try to infiltrate the crowd, right? Just like sneak in and be like, just start like drinking their booze and being like, hey, hey, and like patting people on the back and being like, hey, it's so good to see you, blah, blah, and just like talking to people, and just kind of see like how they respond, right? I mean, if you got the yellow shorts on, you're in the group, right? Everyone is at the beach as if things are normal, but they're not. Yeah, yeah, right? It's crazy. It's like we're living in this weird time right now, where it's kind of like we're trying to pretend that things are normal, right? And just enjoying life. And because we need that. That's a human need. We need to be able to like have some love and positivity in our existences, right? But then at the same time, we're trying to like avoid getting COVID and spreading it to the elderly and to other people with compromised immune systems. It's just we're in a weird time, right? It's interesting though. It's definitely interesting. You can imagine me in those shorts. I don't usually go the high vis route, right? I usually it does match. Okay, it does match the logo. Yeah, it does. It has that green. I think it was a little bit lighter green than the logo, but yeah, it was pretty close. It was pretty close. Um, I don't. I usually just when I wear shorts, I usually wear black shorts. Like I have this thing how about like just really liking black shorts, and I like to wear them all the time. So I have like I don't know 7 pairs of black shorts. It's like oh, which pair of black shorts am I gonna wear today, right? And I don't even know why I own so many black shirts. It's kind of crazy, right? Like I don't need that many. I just there was a time in my life where I didn't have a lot of black shorts. And then I was like, this sucks. I don't have enough black shorts. And then I went out and I started like, scouring the neighborhood for like, black shorts. And then I found some and I bought them and I found some more and I bought them and I found some more. And I just kept buying them. And then it's like now I went from 0 to 7 pairs. Now like what am I going to do with all these black shorts? Now I have too many pairs of black shorts. And now now I'm just I'm at a point where I'm just trying to like wear some such that they like get worn out quickly, and then I can like switch to like others, and then have maybe a few as like like backup like painting shorts or something. But it's just kind of a weird situation. So I guess the lesson of the story is if you don't have a lot of something, sure it's good to purchase some more of it if it's something that's useful and it's going to bring a lot of utility into your life. But at the same time, like don't go overboard. You don't need to go from 0 to 7 pairs of black shorts in a matter of a couple weeks. The same thing happened to me with jeans once. I once was like looking at my jeans and I was like, I don't like the jeans I have. They don't fit right. They're just not comfortable. And they're just they just don't. I don't like these jeans anymore. So I just went out and like I didn't feel like trying them on in the fitting room. I fucking hate fitting rooms. I hate them. I hate them. I hate the smell of department stores. They always had that weird closed starchy smell. I can't stand that smell. I hate going in the fitting room because they have all those mirrors that make you look all distorted and different anyway. So you never know if the clothes actually look good on you or not. So my new move lately is just basically like I'll just find like a bunch of different styles and sizes I like, and I'll just buy like I once had 18 pairs of jeans in the back of my car. I literally went to like 3 different stores, bought 18 pairs of jeans, and they're all the same size or pretty much. It was crazy, right? It's crazy. Like why the fuck do I have 18 pairs of jeans in my car? So then I went home, I tried them all on, and I returned 16 pairs of jeans. So it's like it was crazy, right? It's crazy like when you're having to when I mean the fitting rooms are just terrible and just and then you're in the store and they usually play like the most atrocious music that you ever want to hear. It's like especially for metalheads. Like you never can go to like I mean, how often do metalheads go into a store and they're just like playing like heavy metal? It doesn't happen. You're not going to walk into Kohl's and they're going to be playing Cannibal Corpse. It's just not a thing, right? So people who are into metal and are have it really tough when we go clothes shopping. We have to go to different stores that play different music. Or else we just put in headphones. Oh, Grace Yoga's here. Awesome. Hey, Grace, how are you doing? Big shout out to Grace Yoga. She is a fitness and health streamer here in the Twitch community, and she is a wonderful person. Just exudes positivity through her being, through the way she interacts with the world, and she's a phenomenal yoga instructor. She's a pro. She is an absolute pro here in the fitness and health community. Definitely check her out. Definitely drop her a follow when you get a chance. Let's see. Sometimes reads you say. Okay, I got kind of lost in the chat here. We have a clip. We have a clip you made. Whoa, hold on. You've been saying a lot of stuff. You've been saying a lot of stuff. We got to go way back here. Yes, exactly. You hadn't really been to the beach in 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. I mean, you live right by this beautiful beach. If you live by a beautiful beach, then definitely check it out, explore it. Right? Go check out that beach. I mean, that's a blessing. I don't have a beach that nice to me. I mean, the closest thing that I got to me is Lake Michigan. And those of you who've been to Lake Michigan, like who've been to Chicago or been around Lake Michigan, it's kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty. It's like we sugarcoat it. We talk about it. It's like, yeah, sure, you can go there for the day and you can hang out on the beach and like, it's not a great beach. It's not like going up. It's not like the beach that you have in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Or like being on the ocean. It's like there's definitely a different level of beaches, right? But the sun came back, and it's important to get sunshine too. But the beach is way too full. It's dangerous. Yeah, the beach was full, right? There's a lot of people there that will just like bump into you, swipe your phone, swipe your camera, or swipe your purse, whatever you're carrying, and then just take off, right? Grab your wallet. Um, we'll need to go to an indoor hot tub and then do one of those streams. Hey, Sunrise, if you want to get views, if you want to get subscriptions and follows, those indoor hot tub streams, I mean, I can't do that. I can't handle that. I can't do that. But people are doing it. Um, Boys, stuff to have 10 pairs of black shorts. Yeah. Goes traveling. Should I get 5 more black shorts? Yes, I need them, right? All right, let's check out the clip. We're ready for the clip.
Sneak in and be like, just start like drinking their booze and being like, hey, hey, and like patting people on the back and being like, hey, it's so good to see you, blah, and just like talking to people and just kind of see like how they respond, right? I mean, if you got the yellow shorts, you're in the group, right?
Yeah, that's how it was with them, right? If there was this group of people that were just hanging out on the beach that Sunrise was at, and they were just all wearing these high vis yellow shorts. And I think if you just were able to acquire one of those pairs of shorts, you'd just be able to hang with them and just party with them and drink for free all day and eat for free all day. It's just the question is, where do you find those shorts where do you find those shorts at short notice? That was pretty bad, but yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah, Grace, you hate clothes shopping too. It's just it's so frustrating going clothes shopping. I can't stand it. It's literally something that I have very little patience for. I mean, there's a lot of things that I have little patience for, but that's one thing. Hey, DJ Chris Shuns is now hosting my stream. Thank you so much, brother. The great imbalanced physique is here. Let me give you a shout out, my friend, to your other account. You're one of those two account guys. All right, there we go. Oh, API here, huh? It didn't work. I think I just misspelled it. You with your 2 accounts, man. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, basically, yeah, there's a lot of things you got to do with black shorts. You gotta wear them sometimes you don't. John, check out Imbalanced Physique stream. He is a great streamer here in the Twitch fitness and health community. Totally awesome dude. Really authentic, genuine guy, and that's what I will say about what I will say about John. That's why I like him, because he's an authentic human being. So yeah, definitely check him out when you get a chance. He's a fitness and health streamer, and he does a lot of workout streams, but he also talks about like mental health related issues and things like that. Sunrise, you say you should propose to them to play metal music one day a week so that all metalheads can go shopping on that day. It's kind of the truth, right? Like, metalheads have it rough when we have to go out into the general public and into stores, like, because you just never hear it. I mean, yeah, sure, there's some, like, if you go to like a tattoo parlor or something like that, you're gonna be hearing like black metal and whatnot, but like you're not gonna hear it at Kohl's, or you're not gonna hear it at like just the standard like stores around the neighborhood. Grace, you're eating birthday cake. You're eating your birthday cake today. Well, but your birthday was a few days ago. You got some leftover birthday cake you're eating? Well, that's cool. You got to do what you got to do, right? Especially if it's your birthday, you got to celebrate. You got to enjoy that. You got to enjoy life. We have to find things that we enjoy. And I forget who it was. Someone said that what gets them up in the morning. Someone said this a while back. Was that they think of that cup of orange juice that they're going to have in the morning, and that fresh squeezed orange juice is what gets them up in the morning. That's actually big for me too. I'm huge into fresh squeezed orange juice, and I drink it every morning. And yeah, like there's something about it that just makes you feel so good and nourished and healthy and happy. And so I'm always drinking that whenever I can. It's just definitely helps me out a lot. All right, where are we at here? Grace, you said, "How are you? How is everyone in chat?" I'm doing all right today. I had some good news. I found out that my aunt is going to be out of the hospital probably in a couple weeks, and that she's doing better. So that's like super super positive news. I did a Bikram yoga class today that was grueling. It was really grueling. Grace, I don't know if you've ever tried Bikram or not, but like or they call it 26 and 2 now to try to distance themselves from the man, the Bikram creator guy. But anyways, it's just some days you walk in there and this is true for regular yoga though as well, right? Some days you never know what you're gonna get, right? You'll start your yoga routine and you'll feel like really weak, and then you'll just like all of a sudden you'll gain strength and you'll feel stronger as time goes on, right? And you'll just feel strong and good and healthy, and you'll be able to do more and more. And next thing you know, you're doing like handstands and shit. It's crazy, right? And then same thing with Bikram yoga. It's with the heat. You just never know how you're going to react. Some days you go in there and you're feeling like really strong. Like I was feeling pretty strong. I go in there today and I was just dead. I had nothing. I was just barely hanging on and just barely getting through the sequence. It's tough too. It's a tough sequence. Even though I've done it 10 years. I've done the same Bikram series, 26 postures from the Hatha set, 105 degrees Fahrenheit. But it's brutal. It's brutal to do that much. All right. Let's see. Sunrise, you're all good. No need to read all my stuff. I like to get to your stuff though. You usually have some good stuff to say, but but they are not a bad idea for safe swimming during lockdowns. All right, all right. Here we go. We got another clip from Sunrise. Let's see what we got here.
Black shorts, and I found some, and I bought them, and I found some more, and I bought them, and I found some more. I just kept buying them, and then it's like now I went from 0 to 7 pairs. Now like what am I gonna do with all these black shorts? Now I have too many pairs of black shorts, and now I'm just I'm at a point where I'm just trying to like wear some such that they like get worn out quickly, and then I can like switch to like others, and then have maybe a few as like like backup like painting shorts or something.
Yeah, but that's how it is, right? And it's crazy. We live in a society where more is better, right? Where we just need more of stuff. We need more, more food, more. And when COVID hit, like people were going crazy with toilet paper in this country. I don't know how it was in other countries, but man, it's like I just need a roll of fucking toilet paper, Just like I don't need to 3,000 rolls. Just can I just have like one roll of toilet paper and just like be okay. By the way, this brings me up to this. This is a funny story. One of my friends actually went to Mexico. His father went to. Well, he's a friend, but I was also dating his daughter, who's my age, and then so he's older, but he's also a friend. Anyways, he went to Mexico in the '70s, and he goes in a public restroom, and he opens the door, and there was no toilet paper in there, but there was like an attendant standing out in the bathroom. And so he comes, and the attendant was holding toilet paper. So then, he comes out, and he's just like, can I get some toilet paper? And the guy's like, well, I got to charge you. And he's like, what? he's like, you're gonna charge me for toilet paper? You're gonna charge me to have the ability to clean myself? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, well, how much is it? The bathroom attendant was like, well, how many squares do you want? like like has anyone ever asked you that? How many squares do you want? He's like, I don't know how many squares I want. I don't know exactly how many squares of toilet paper I want. Just give me a bunch. Just give me a bunch of squares. Just give me the whole damn roll. What are you talking about? How many squares do I want? So I don't know. I don't know where he was hanging. It probably wasn't a really high prestigious place. I mean, if they're charging, they were literally charging per square of toilet paper. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, clothes shopping does take a long. It takes a lot of time. It can be annoying, especially if you strike out. Right? Some days you find something you like, and then some days you just strike out. Grace Yoga, Demolition Man, and the Three Seashells. Absolutely, I totally remember that movie. In fact, I own that movie. That's a quality flick. Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock. It's a classic, right? Yeah, with the Three Seashells. In fact, my buddy actually has three seashells laid out on top of his toilet lid at his place at his home. Just for like as like a joke, it's pretty funny, but yeah, it's like with the three seashells. I guess my friend who went to Mexico must have needed that. Maybe he just didn't know how to use the three seashell system. It's always crazy the different types of bathrooms ever that they have in places. Right? You go to Japan and you have like bidets and things like that. You go to I went to Thailand a few years ago and it was just basically like a hose on the wall, and they're just like here, grab the hose on the wall, and you just clean yourself with that. And it's like, okay, and you know what? It actually worked pretty well. The trick though is that you gotta try out that hose first, right? Right. I was thinking about this. I'm a chess player. I always gotta think ahead, And so like I was like, what would happen if I sat down here to do my business and then like I grabbed the hose and like it didn't work for some reason. So you always try out that hose ahead of time. And then as long as the hose is good, you're in good shape. But that seemed a little weird to me. You just grab the hose from the wall, but like I'm sure for a lot of the people in the stream, that's just normal, right? That's just how it is in your culture, right? In America, we use wadded up piles of paper. That sounds fucking weird, right? To use just like a wad of paper to like clean ourselves. That's I don't know about that. All right, where are we at here? Where are we at? All right. Yes, imbalance. You were here, man. Grace Yogi, you say today was the party. Oh, the party with your parents, the family party. Got it. Yeah, yeah. Because typically you don't have your birthday party on the actual day of your birthday. It's usually like during the week or something like that, or people can't make it, or there's another event going on. So they bought a cake. They brought a cake to your party. All right, nice. Well, good. I hope you had a good time with your parents and with your family. I mean, it's important to spend time with our families. We gotta do what we can to spend as much time with them. You never know. You never know how much longer people have, and we wanna try to be there for them and just spend time with them in their good times, right? Not just like when they're in nursing homes or whatnot, right? Um, Agni's secret. We got another clip. Let's check it out.
Basically, yeah, there's a lot of things you gotta do with black shorts. You gotta wear them sometimes. Sometimes you don't. Basically,
Yeah, there are. I'm giving away secrets. A lot of good secrets. Right? Sometimes you wear the black shorts. Sometimes you don't. Um, I think that sounds like a hyperdumb out of context clip almost. Um, yeah. Yeah, Sunrise, you said Bikram is fire. I remember you said that you went to a Bikram class and you got like sick during it once, right? Because it was just too much, right? It was too much heat. And that also happened to you from like a run, right? You said you like ran like a 10K today. I think at some point you ran a 10K and you got a nosebleed and you were feeling sick. You said yes, toilet paper went missing in Australia too. So this was a worldwide phenomenon. It wasn't just an American like mental mental illness. It was like a worldwide phenomenon. When COVID hit, everyone just went and bought as much toilet paper as they can. It was, yeah, it's intense. It's intense. And then some stores would start rationing it. They'd be like, all right, you one toilet paper, one roll per person. And you'd see like these families, like I don't know like how they had so many kids. Like these families did not have this many kids prior to COVID. Apparently like they just like brought some like kids and kids friends from the neighborhood. They would go into like these stores and they would be like, all right, my 2-year-old's buying a roll right now. My 5-year-old's buying a roll, and it's like, dude, you're walking out with like 20 rolls of toilet paper. No one else is getting any. And like this isn't even your family. Like where do you round it? Rounded up a bunch of neighborhood kids. You threw them in the van, and you brought them out here to buy like extra rolls of toilet paper that you can keep in your place, right? Um, so yeah, it was intense. All right, where are we at here? What to bring to Mexico? All right, let's check out this clip.
and he opens the door, and there was no toilet paper in there, but there was like an attendant standing out in the bathroom. And so he comes, and the attendant was holding toilet paper. So then he comes out, and he's just like, you know, can I get some toilet paper? And the guy's like, well, I got to charge you. And he's like, what? he's like, you're gonna charge me for toilet paper? You're gonna charge me to like to have the like ability to like clean myself? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, well, how much is it? And the bathroom attendant was like, well, how many squares do you want? like, like, has anyone ever asked you that? How many squares do you want? Like, I don't. He's like, I don't know how many squares I want. I don't know exactly how many squares of toilet paper I want. Just give me a bunch. Give me just give me a bunch of squares. Like,
Nice clips, Sunrise. Thank you for the clips. Totally appreciate it. That was a good one. Yeah, that's a good story though, right? That it shows like how different it is in different cultures, right? And just different socioeconomic environments, right? I mean, you're not going to go to the Hilton in Chicago and like walk in the washroom and like not have toilet paper, and have to like literally bargain with the attendant for like the right to purchase squares of toilet paper, right? I mean that's just not how it is. But like in Mexico City in the 70s, that's kind of how it was. So that's just how it goes. All right, let's see. Sunrise, you say yes. Hyperdump has the best. By the way, where is Hyperdump been? I haven't seen the guy around. I feel like he's disappeared from the face of the earth recently. I know he had the new name. He changed his name to Jimmy Nothing, but I haven't seen Ian around. I don't know what's been going on with him. Have you talked with him lately? Sunrise, you say yeah, you were doing Bikram regularly, but you weren't eating properly, and your nails and hair started becoming thin. Whoa, yeah. If you, that's one thing about Bikram. It can be depleting on the body because you're releasing so many nutrients, right? You have all these nutrients that you're sweating out, and you're just and if you're not like hydrating properly and getting enough electrolytes and getting and just eating enough food, it can be tough. That can be really tough on you. Yeah. Um, Sunrise, you said what you said about kids and rationing toilet paper sounds like the situation here in Brazil. The street kids are pretty much exploited for their labor. Some hired from parents, others for kids to beg on the street. Whoa, really bad and sad. Kids like younger than 5 sometimes. That's crazy, right? I mean, you're walking around and you see like a 5-year-old begging on the street. Like we don't have much of that in the U.S. Like at least not where I live in Chicago. I mean, you don't see many like 5-year-old beggars. I think there's like rules against that, or I think what happens is they just take the kids from the parents and put them in, like in custody. They just take them into custody and like put them in some kind of facility or something. But yeah, that's rough. That's really rough. I mean, poverty is crazy, right? Poverty's crazy. Uh, let's see. So you haven't chatted to him recently, Hyper that is. Huh? Yeah, I wonder where he is. I mean, but this is the nature of Twitch, right? People get busy, right? People get busy with stuff in life, and then they go off and live their lives, right? It's not like they're just like, oh, I'm gonna be here watching, watching the stream every single day. That's like rare, right? Most people are like out doing things in the world. With COVID, it's been a little different though. With COVID, people have been more inclined to just kind of stay home and chill and do Twitch. But it's just whatever. It's like all of life. Heraclitus, a pre-Socratic philosopher, he argued that life is change. That change is the fundamental constant of existence, right? And then so here you got Heraclitus here, and then you get his contemporary, who was another pre-Socratic philosopher, Parmenides, who said, no, 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 it's not about change. It's just about oneness, and there's only oneness, and that's the foundational nature of reality, right? So they were two really good opposing figureheads in Western philosophy. It's pretty cool. So check out let's give a shout out to Heraclitus. No one talks about him that much anymore, but he was a cool dude. In Brazil, we don't have the same protections. There's a group of women that hire babies and then sit with the babies on the street, giving them cold showers, naked on cold days. So walker-bys feel sad and give them money. That is nuts. That is nuts. You always ask the kids if they go to school what they want to be, what is their favorite subjects and dreams. Yeah, that's totally different, right? That would never go down in the USA, right? Those kids would be taken from those families immediately. I mean, we do have. Don't get me wrong. We have a major homeless problem. Like if we have a major issue with homelessness in the United States of America. But like it's you don't usually see the little kids out there. That's like the one difference. Like I guess like maybe the U.S. is just kind of Just is kind of like says, oh well, we'll tolerate an adult starving to death on the street, but we're not going to tolerate a young kid starving to death. That's where we draw the line, I guess. I don't know. I mean, is that fair? Right? Should an adult be just shunned to like to or have to die on the street while like a little kid is saved? I mean, like, is that how we do it? This brings up an interesting subject actually. So like there's this notion a lot of times that says shout out Heraclitus. Yeah. There's this notion that little kids, that their lives are more valuable than the lives of like adults. I've always found that kind of like a weird notion, right? Like, that why is it that like an 8-year old, that their life is more valuable than a 20-year-old, right? Or an 18-year-old. Like why? Like I don't mean, I don't really understand that notion. I mean, and then the only argument anyone ever gives me is that, oh well, it's because the 8-year-old has not lived as long, right? They haven't had as much experience on this earth, right? But like I don't find that argument compelling at all. I think that no matter what age you are, your life is equally valid, right? And yeah, maybe you like. What about, think about it this way? What if there's an adult that lived the first 40 years of their life and it was just pure hell, right? But then the next 40 years of their life was going to be amazing, right? It was going to be wonderful. It was going to be incredible. They just won the lottery. But then, like, were we still going to say that their life is not as valuable, right? They never got to experience that joy. Like that little kid could have had more joy in their life than that entire adult's life, right? So, like, how do we even define that? How do we put a label and a value on life, right? Especially within different ages of people. That just seems that always seems like a bizarre thing. I love it though. I love the shout outs we're getting for Heraclitus. All right, where are we at here now? Where are we at? Okay, that's good that things are okay for kids here as well. Cool. Go check out go check out Heraclitus. Show him some love. Talk to him about the foundational nature of reality, and whether he's right or Parmenides is right, and that the foundational nature is actually change, and that change is the only constant of the universe. Now, here's the thing about that. I am on board with that notion if you're talking about within the dualistic framework, right? Within the dualistic framework in which we go to work, we live, we go out in the external world and do all those things, right? Yeah, in that sense, I can see the argument, right? I can see the argument for change being the only constant, because that's kind of how it is. Because the dualistic framework that we live in, that the ego basically is interwoven with, is all about change and all about division and separation and whatnot. So everything's constantly changing, right? But what Parmenides was arguing is, and it goes along the same lines as Kant's noumenal world. Kant drew a distinction between the phenomenal realm, which is the realm of sensory experience, and the noumenal realm, which is the realm of things as they are in themselves, right? So Parmenides was basically saying, no, look, the noumenal world is the only world that exists. Anything that doesn't that changes, anything that moves or change, anything or moves, anything that moves does not exist. He took that stance. He said the true things, the things that are true, are the things that are always the same. Like pure love, that's just that one constant. That is the constant of the universe. That is the fundamental nature of the universe. And Heraclitus was caught up in the dualistic paradigm, right? Saying that no, you know what, there's mind and matter, and that the interactions between these things is all that exists, right? And there's a lot of hard determinists that take that stance also, right? Hard determinists are basically people that believe that from the moment of the first cause, whether it's the Big Bang or whatnot, whatever the first cause was that brought things into existence within this dualistic framework. That if we had a computer that had enough processing power, and we had all the data and all the initial conditions from the moment of that first cause, that we could extrapolate, and we could basically figure out everything that's going to happen throughout the entire course of history, right? And every single thought that we would even think, throughout our entire lives, right? Imagine that, right? Like someone could just type it into a computer, and then like they knew exactly what we were going to even say at any given moment. I mean, that would be pretty wild, right? That's kind of like Westworld. Westworld is one of my favorite shows that's been around for the last few years. It's an incredible show. Anyone who hasn't checked out Westworld should definitely check it out. But yeah, they deal with deep seated philosophical notions like that in there a lot. Like like whether we actually do have free will, right? Because free will is always like a debate it's never resolved. But it's interesting. It's so interesting, right, to know to try to think about whether we actually have free will or not. All right, let's get back to chat. Uh, Heraclitus, no, Heraclitus was an actual philosopher. He's an actual philosopher, but we were just joking around. We're giving him shout outs, but yeah, Grace, you got it right. You think they are? I was just joking. Yeah, that would be funny though if like we resurrected Heraclitus and like and had him out here as like a streamer on Twitch. Like imagine if like we had Einstein streaming on Twitch or like some of the great minds of the past, right? Um, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty neat. All right, where are we at here now in the chat? Oh, is Heraclitus? Yeah, he's totally real. You can check him out. Google him. Sunrise reads, you were deemed Parmenides makes an appearance. All right, it's time. Now, this cat is not going to be happy with me, but just give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. This is Parmenides. She's a little camera shy, but she's a good cat. All right. Enough of that. I'm sorry. uh, yeah, as you can tell, she doesn't like being held very much. Especially when I just like take her and like bring her up and like kind of like put her in front of the computer, right? She doesn't dig it. She doesn't dig that. But like it's good for her. She needs a little excitement in her life. She doesn't have enough excitement going on, and and just if you think about it, she's still technically a wild animal, right? I mean, cats. She could have been descended from a lion or like some kind of a cougar or something. I mean, she's a wild beast. She's a wild beast. P. Barrow, you like that one, huh? Yeah, she's a good cat, right? And she's the philosopher cat, right? Look how Parmenides, right? That's how I spell Purrmen. Yeah, Parmenides, right? So, but because my favorite philosopher is Parmenides, right? Sunrise, you say she's like, why do you do this to me? She kind of is, right? She kind of is like, what are you doing this? Have you heard about drop bears? Drop bears before? I don't know what drop bears are. I do know about the cat that likes to like claw my neck, but I don't know about the drop bears. Um, hey P Barrow, good to see you again. I hope all is well with you. I think it's about time maybe. Yeah, yeah. Send me a link. Send me a link for drop bears. I've never even heard that expression. I know nothing about drop bears. I would love to check it out either here or in the Discord, or you can DM me, whatever you want to do. Drop bears. What are they? Are they like bears that just like drop from like trees? They climb up trees and just drop, like fall on you? Like I don't know. I don't. That'd be pretty fucked up to like have a bear fall on you. I would not. Like bears are scary enough. Like when they're just standing there like looking at you. Have any of you had experiences with bears? Have any of you ever had an encounter with like a big fucking bear? Right? It's scary. Like they'll just stop and they're just like looking at you, and you're just looking at them, and you're just like, is one of us going to die today? That's basically the thought that's going through your mind. I had one of my good buddies was hiking in the Smoky Mountains, and with his wife at the time, and one of our friends, and our friend was like eating. He was up there on some trail, and our friend was eating, and this fucking bear like walks up. Like and he's like on the path, like the only path to like get to go the other way, right? There's this bear just like staring at him, right? And the dude just like sits there and he continues eating. It's like, why the fuck are you eating, man? It's like the bear literally goes like this and starts sniffing. It starts sniffing. It starts sniffing the air because it wants that food. And he's just sitting there like munching on his granola, eating granola bars. And like luckily my other friend Some of you might know him, frequently misunderstood. He's the guy who actually created my emotes. He was like, dude, drop that fucking food and let's go. Let's get out of here, right? They went over and they just left the food there and they slowly backed around the side of the mountain, and then they just took off running. And the last thing they saw was the bear just like mauling the food, and going through it and like eating it. But that could have been a nasty encounter, right? That could have been a crazy time, right? All right. Okay. So yeah, drop bears, right? You know what? I've been having this issue with OBS when I load up video lately. It's not been popping up on the main screen, so I'm not going to load it up now. But I'll check that out later. Anyone in the chat could check it out too if you want, because that's an interesting thing. Yeah, a bear just dropping out of a tree or something. I wouldn't. Bears are nothing to fuck around with. They're one of the few creatures that I'll admit has dominance over me. Unless I have like a tool or a weapon, like a gun or something like that. When I go camping, sometimes I'll go camping, and some of my friends, maybe like one of my friends, will bring a gun along, right, just to protect ourselves, because there are bears like in certain areas of like in Michigan and things like that, and you got to be careful. It's crazy when you're in an environment where an animal is just gonna like possibly just attack you and like just kill you. Like you're just like trying to sleep in your tent, and like all of a sudden like there's bears there. Like last time I went camping, there was this raccoon that kept messing with me, and I would go out and I'd be like, hey, get out of here, and I'd like wave a stick at the raccoon, and the raccoon would run off, but then like I'd start falling back asleep again, and I would hear something. We had all our we didn't tie the food up high enough in the tree, because that's the move. That's what you're supposed to do. In my climate, or in where I live, when you go camping, and you're supposed to basically literally tie the food up like high in the tree so the raccoon can't get to it, right? And your garbage as well. Or else, it's like I had the food in the tent. I was like, you know what? I'll just put the food. It's not gonna fuck with us if it's in the tent, right? Sometimes they will though. Sometimes they will. You got to be careful when you go camping. It's a crazy world out there. But yeah, that's interesting about those drop bears. I'll check out that link later. Hey, Grace Yoga. Grace, we are about. Oh, I like the emotes. I like the emotes. Pooh swag. Pooh love and Pooh hug. Cool. Winnie the Pooh. Cool. Awesome. That's cool. And I dig those. I dig those. I haven't seen those before. Yeah, I feel like it's time to do some meditation. I mean, that's why we're here, right? I've been talking for 50 minutes. Might as well do some of the work that we're here to do. So, okay. So I always come out, high intensity. Now we bring the intensity down. And we find a nice, comfortable seated position. You can sit in lotus pose on the floor. You can sit cross-legged. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a seated position that is comfortable for you. And then close your eyes and take a few slow breaths on your own. And I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that goes off every 2 seconds. And you can use that chime to help regulate your breath count. Take a few more deep breaths on your own. And become one with your breath. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath count. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, lowering your belly. Breathe in, raising your abdomen. Breathe out, lowering your abdomen. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Keep your awareness on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Be mindful of your breath. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your awareness on your breath.
Visualize yourself sitting on a mountaintop, watching the clouds move beneath you. Two clouds merge into one, and one cloud divides into two. You watch as the clouds move through the sky and disappear over the horizon. Those clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist in conscious awareness for a while, and then disappear. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Keep your awareness on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. And return your focus to your breath. Your essence is love. The manifestation of love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. And awaken the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. until the whole world is lit once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that obscures your third eye sight. Be mindful of your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds, moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Thoughts will continuously come into being and then disappear from conscious awareness. That is the nature of human consciousness. In meditation, we try to clear our mind of those thoughts. We go beneath the level of conscious awareness and travel down to the region of the heart chakra. And it is there, in that location, that we realize our true essence. That essence being love. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that does not serve you well. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all ego that obscures your third eye sight. Stay focused on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, release them. Do not judge them, just let them go. Do not get frustrated that thoughts will continuously enter your mind. You just release them and travel beneath the level of conscious awareness into the region of your heart chakra, into that place where all is one. That place is your eternal home. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all ego that obscures your third eye sight. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Stay focused on your breath. Your essence is love. The manifestation of love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. And awaken the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until the whole world is glowing radiantly once again. And the ego will fade into nothingness. For there can be no darkness where there is light. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your attention on your breath count. When ego thoughts enter your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. And go down deeper in your thoughts beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to your heart chakra. Feel the love that emanates from that region. Feel the peace and oneness that exists. That place is your eternal home. Where there is oneness, there can be no separation or division. For that which is one is one. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego that obscures your third eyesight. When we empty our minds of conscious thoughts, we allow ourselves to be full, and we can see clearly through our third eye. The world looks a little brighter. The people we come into contact with glow a little more when they are connected with our love and our light. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go back to the region of the heart chakra and feel your eternal love. It emanates from the source of all creation. And you are one with that source, being an extension of it. Your love is eternal. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Stay focused on your breath count. On your next inhale, travel down deep beneath the level of consciousness, back to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the eternal love that springs from that location. Feel the manifestation of that love, which is light. In that region of your heart chakra, you come to realize that all is love, and that division of any kind is impossible. You experience perfect bliss because that is your nature. Feel the warmth that emanates from that region. Feel the pulsating and vibrations of that love. That love is your foundational essence. That love is you. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. breathe out, releasing all ego that obscures your third eyesight. Stay focused on that place of perfect love within. Do not lose sight of the love in your heart chakra. The ego would have you be distracted and look elsewhere. But when you go within to your heart chakra, you realize the truth of reality. The ego would have you think about the past and have you think about the future. The ego would have you think about everything except the eternal present moment. By doing so, it keeps you a prisoner in time. But in reality, you've never left your eternal home. Inhale, delving deeper into the source of creation. Exhale, releasing any residual ego from your mind. Breathe in, going even further down to the source of all creation. Breathe out, releasing any thoughts that intrude on the present. Breathe in, search for the center point of your love. Breathe out, releasing any ego that blocks your passage there. Inhale, feeling out that center point. And as you exhale, go on through. Once you've gone through the center point, you come out the other side and you remember who you truly are. And you remember your eternal purpose. In the center point, you remember how you came to be. In your center point, you remember what you truly are. In your center point, you remember your eternal nature. In your center, you remember your divinity. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, releasing all ego that would keep you miserable. Breathe in, allowing love and light to fill your body. Breathe out, releasing anything from this dualistic framework that binds you to the world. Inhale, allowing the love and light within you to fill your entire being. Exhale, releasing all pain and insecurity from your body. Inhale, filling your vessel with the purest love imaginable. Exhale, vowing to never forget who you truly are. You are divine. And your purpose is to bypass all ego dynamics. For the ego is there to obscure your vision. And to make you forget who you truly are. But when you come to realize your nature is eternal love and light, and that nothing can ever bring you away from that state of perfect oneness, when you go deep down into monism and choose to identify with what you truly are, the ego will disappear from your mind. And all the encounters that you have with other people will bypass the ego and be occurring at the place of love. For your love will waken the love within them, and they will be eternally grateful. Inhale. Exhale, releasing any residual ego from your being. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing any attachments to this illusory dualistic framework. Travel back down deep to the source of creation. Travel deep down into your center. Feel the overwhelming joy and love that emanates from that region. You are one with that love. Within space-time, the ego tries to keep us trapped. tries to keep us distracted on ego dynamics. It keeps us away from the present moment and makes us forget who we truly are. But when you journey through your center point, when you travel the farthest down you can to the source of all creation, you realize you are one with that source. And you realize your eternal divinity. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all fear and anxiety from your being. Breathe in, recognizing your own perfection. Breathe out, releasing any residual ego from your conscious awareness. Inhale, feeling the love and joy residing within. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in, filling your vessel with the purest of love. Breathe out, releasing anything that keeps you stuck within this dualistic framework. Inhale, taking the deepest breath of the day. Exhale, releasing any residual ego from your being. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of the day. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here with me in this sacred space. Thank you for reuniting in oneness with me here, and for doing the work so that the ego will not have as strong of a grasp on you as it had previously. We need to let it go, and we need to let it go together. And that's why I'm here, to let go of my ego and to show others that it can be done for them as well. When we live our life listening to the ego, we are bound for doom and failure. We attach ourselves to misery. But that is not our light. That is not our purpose. Our purpose is to remember who we truly are in our hearts, to remember our foundational essence, that essence being love. So thank you again for allowing me to be your meditation guide, and I hope you all got something out of this meditation. I hope you all feel a little more peaceful and a little more calm than you did prior to the meditation, because you deserve it. You absolutely deserve the feeling of the purest love and light, because that is your nature, and that is what you are worthy of. The ego is not worthy of you. You are worthy of the recognition of your own internal divinity and the oneness you share with all of humanity. Thank you. All right, let's see. What did we have going on today here in chat? Let me. I always get a little backed up here with the chat, but that's okay, right? It's okay. That's just how it goes. Okay, let's see. We had Evelyn Yoga here. Evelyn, how are you today? Evelyn Yoga is a phenomenal streamer here on Twitch in the fitness and health community. She is such a wonderful, joyful person. She's a pleasure to be around. She's an excellent yoga instructor. And she does other stuff too. She does Pilates and other types of stretches and other types of workouts and things like that. I highly recommend you check out her stream whenever you get a chance. And she's an Aussie, so she has a little bit of spunk to her nature. She's a wonderful human being, a wonderful human being. Definitely check her out, drop her a follow. She emits such pure love and light, and it's just such a joy to have gotten to know her in this world, in this Twitch fitness and health community. Reiner, 2020. Happy Sunday to you too. If it's still Sunday wherever you reside, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing exceptional. And yeah, I hope all is just well and peaceful with you. Yes, check out. You know what? I don't know much about your streams, Reiner, but yeah, definitely check out Reiner and drop them a follow because it's important. It's so funny. Dropping a follow costs you nothing, and it really can help out the streamer. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm gonna have to check out your streams later. And then let's see, what do we got going on here? We have Sunrise with the beautiful emotes the metal prayer hands emote that my friend Frequently Misunderstood created for me. I'm super grateful for him and all that he's done for me. He created all my emotes, and he's gonna maybe create a banana king emote. It's gonna be a banana with a crown on top, but it will be very metalish. Maybe like some skulls in there or something, because it's fun, right? The metal scene is fun, right? We like to enjoy ourselves. DJ Krishuns, you've been lurking for a while. You're done with your workouts. Well, it's good to have you here, friend. It's so good to have you here. DJ Krishuns, otherwise known as Imbalanced Physique, otherwise known as John, is a totally awesome dude. The guy is just incredible. He's just such an authentic, genuine human being. He works out, he does streams, and he talks about things that are close to his heart. Now, I came up with a quote about 7 years ago that really seems to still hold true, and that is that people talk about everything except that which is closest to their heart. Right? People will gossip for hours about who's dating who on TMZ, right? People will talk about anything in the world, right? Except what's so deep within their own internal psyche, right? Everyone's afraid. Everyone's afraid to communicate about what's really in their hearts. And this causes so many relationship problems. Imagine if everyone was just radically open and honest with everyone else around them all the time. Imagine that. Imagine what a beautiful place we would live in, what a beautiful world we would live in. In fact, the ego doesn't want us to be honest. The thing is, the ego, that's one of its distractory techniques. It tries to tell you that in your heart, what's going on in your foundational essence, you need to keep locked up and never share that with anyone. Because if you let out your love, if you let out your divinity, your perfection, and you said, look, I don't have any shame. I have zero shame. I am a free human being. I am the embodiment of love and light. If you came to recognize that as your true essence, and everyone did, the ego would cease to be. It would just disappear. Because it's just a thought. The ego is simply a thought. It is an incorrect thought. It is a contradictory thought. So we have our entire belief set of thoughts, right? And the ego is just a thought that's basically along. You can write the story any way you want. You can say it any way you want. In Buddhism, they say it one way. In Christianity, they say it another way. In many different philosophies, they speak of it differently. But the ego is simply just it's a contradiction. It's basically saying, what would happen if you could do something that was impossible, right? What would that look like? What would be the manifestation of you doing something that can't be done? And you're sitting there thinking, well, wait a minute, but it can't be done, right? Because it's impossible. And the ego's like, yeah. And you're like, so you want me to do something impossible? Something that's a contradiction, something that doesn't make any sense. And the ego's like, yeah. So then, if you adopt that view of the world, if you agree to that premise from the ego, if you incorporate that into your belief system, of course your belief system is going to be messed up, and you're not going to see things through a clear perspective, right? Because you've adopted an insane belief into your belief set. So then the goal is simply to yank it out and remove that belief from your being. Because as long as that contradiction exists within your being, you're going to have cognitive dissonance. You're going to have it's basically like saying, what would happen if you existed and didn't exist at the same time, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's senseless. It's without logic. It's without any kind of basis and grounds in reality. In reality, our state is pure love, pure monism, pure oneness, and we share that with everyone in the world. That is our reality. That's who we are. That's not just what we are, but it's what we are, it's who we are, and it's how we are. And when we actually experience life from the level of pure love and pure oneness, all that ego shit disappears. You could have been in a huge fight with someone, right? You could have had this huge verbal confrontation with someone, and then you go in and you feel that love and light within your heart, and then you view the other person as identical to you, because you realize that their eternal essence is love and light as well. And so it wouldn't make any sense to ever be upset with another human being. And so then you can go and repair the relationship, because you can connect with them in the place of oneness, not in the place of monism, not in the place of two-ness, not in the place of duality, where opposites reign, reign supreme, right? You want to be able to connect with people in the place of truth that exists within them. And if once you do that, once you really connect with them in that place of truth, then all the ego shit just disappears. It's just nonsense. It just fades from your vision, because you know who you are. You know that your essence is love, and there's nothing that can shake that. Thank you for being here with me today. Sunrise, I love the beautiful emotes. Yeah, and Evelyn, you do tarot too. I should have mentioned that when I gave you the shout out. I love it. I love it. I love your tarot. You'll read your soul. You'll read your soul. Laughing your ass off. I think you're talking to Sunrise. You already did the tarot reading to me. And that was a cool reading, right? Because Agni is, I think it's Sanskrit for fire. It's Agni was one of the kings of the fire gods in Eastern mythology, and the idea was Agni would be very abrasive, and he would, like fire, right? Fire is abrasive if it gets too close to the skin, right? But fire can be very useful in that it can burn away all delusion, right? So any thoughts that you hold in your mind that are causing you pain or fear or worry, the notion is that Agni, the Eastern, not I'm just the guy on Twitch, but Agni, the Eastern conception of the deity, right, would just come through and burn away all those delusional thoughts, leaving you with nothing but truth in your system. And that's pretty cool, right? That's kind of what philosophers do, right? And so that's why one of the reasons why I chose that name, Agni, for here. Okay. Let's see, Evelyn, you said, but you were about to tell you about some hilarious gossip. Yeah, right? I know, people talk about everything. People talk about everything in the world, right? Except what's closest to their hearts, right? And we think, it's probably because they don't want to feel vulnerable. They think that if they express what's closest to their heart, that people are going to use that against them. They're going to attack that person with that pure openness, and it just doesn't happen. And if someone does do that, you don't want to be around that person anyway. And you know what? That's just the case. But yeah, be free when you're truly free. If you want to be perfectly free in your encounters in your life, in your encounters with the world and the people in the world, express who you truly are to everyone else. That's the main thing. All right, let's see. Where were we at here? DJ, you said, "Oh, geez, Bruno is scratching your door for treats." Yeah, your dog is intense. You know what? Dogs, it's a dog eat dog world, right? Uh, if a dog wants a treat, it's gonna go for those treats. It's gonna go for them. So definitely. Conjure Inc. 85. Let's see. You used to have crazy dreams where you were the planet's savior. Yeah, right. And I think that we're all, to be honest, I think that we're all the planet's savior. Every one of us, every human being on the planet, and all we have to do is remember who we are. And you might think, whoa, that's kind of a weird concept, right? Do you think that every single human being on the planet is the planet's savior, is humanity's savior? I think so. Because when we remember who we truly are in our foundational core, at the deepest level, when we identify with that, when we remember our true essence, that our true essence is unconditional, eternal love, that perfect place of peace and oneness is our true essence. When we remember that, then it heals the world, and then we can share that with others, and then we can awaken the inner light and love within them, and then they'll heal, and then they can share that love with others. So anything that you see that tries to separate you and divide you from others is of the ego, and anything that you see that tries to bring you together and unite yourself with other people is that of your true essence, of the perfect love that exists within you. And that's what I'm trying to do with this Twitch channel, and just with my mission in life. I'm trying to help people remember that they're divine. I mean, think about that, right? That there's almost like a stigma, right, about people, thinking that they're divine, right? It's like, oh, you can't say you're divine. That looks weird. That's like a weird thing. No, you are pure divinity. You are divine. That is your nature. It's your eternal nature. That love and light flow within you eternally. That's who you are. You are divinity. And you're here to remember that, to remember your true essence. And once you do, then you can help others by spreading that love and kindness. And we're going to get through this together. We're going to conquer the ego. We're going to make it such that it disappears into the nothingness from which it came. It was just a tiny, mad idea. It was just an insane thought that basically said, what would be the case if something happened that couldn't happen, right? And then we chose to believe it. All right, where were we at here? I missed some stuff in chat. I'm definitely missing stuff. Yep, Evelyn's a great tarot reader. She'll read your soul. Nice. We're going to do that. All right. Tons of Terror Time is here. Of course, Terror Time is here because the whole screen is Emote City. It's Party City here because Terror Time is here. Terror Time, not only is she the emote queen, I have never met anyone who can spam emotes better than Terror Time, but she's an incredible personal trainer and in the fitness and health community here on Twitch. She helps people so much. She makes working out a pleasure. She makes it enjoyable. She's always smiling. She's always laughing. But she gets you motivated to do the work, and that's what it's about, right? To actually do the work, to get that good workout in, to feel better about yourself. And she does it to the top, to the supreme. She's like the supreme workout queen. So definitely check out Terror Time. Drop her a follow, and you will not be disappointed. Absolutely. You're so late today. Well, it does. We're from different places in the world. You never know, right? Don't worry about it, Terror Time. Whenever I show up late to your stream sometimes too. You show up late. It doesn't matter. You came, and that's what's cool. The fact that you came here. You came and you're spreading love and light. Look at this. Look at how much love and light you've spread. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, Terror Time. Definitely grateful for all that you do here. All right, Sunrise, you got a clip right here. Let's check it out. Who will save the world? Let's check it out.
Conjure Inc. 85. Let's see. You used to have crazy dreams where you were the planet's savior. Yeah, right. And I think that we're all To be honest, I think that we're all the planet's savior. Every one of us, every human being on the planet, and all we have to do is remember who we are. And you might think, whoa, that's kind of a weird concept, right? You think that every single human being on
I'm
the
like
planet
nodding my head to
is
something
the
I'm
planet's
saying.
savior, savior. I think so. Because when we remember who we truly are in our foundational core, at the deepest level, when we identify with that, when we remember our true essence, that Conjure Inc. 85.
Yeah, right. It's so funny. I love it. I don't know why. I have this weird habit. Whenever someone does clips of me, I'm always like nodding my head, and I'm like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. Who is this guy? Who is this guy that knows what he's talking about? It's so ridiculous. It's like why am I nodding my head at my own clips? Like I don't know. It's just this weird habit I got into a while ago. I hope it doesn't offend anyone. Oh man. All right. What do we got going on here? Uh, Terra Time, you're talking to Sunrise. How are you, beauty? Yeah, both of you are beautiful, beautiful souls, beautiful people, and yeah, thanks, my dear friend. Sunrise, you redeemed stretch. All right. Oh yeah, let's stretch it out a little bit. Gotta do a little stretching. Feels good. Feels so good to stretch out. Just little stretches like this, just moving your arms around, and just feeling the energy, feeling the flow, feeling that vibration. Ooh, yeah. That feels great. That feels so good. Like it's funny, it's like here's the funny thing about stretching. People forget to fucking stretch. It's crazy. It's crazy, but we all do it. We're all guilty of that sometimes, right? We forget to stretch, and it's so healthy for our bodies. And I mean, think about it, right? These bodies are animal bodies, right? I mean, we've evolved from monkeys, right? A long time ago, right? And guess what? If you ever look at animals, like look at your dogs, look at your cats. Cats stretch, dogs stretch. If you go see the chimpanzees in the zoo, animals stretch. All animals stretch. Stretching is a natural part of our lives, and we're getting like trained to just like sit in a chair with not even moving our head, just stay focused. Now we have like eye trackers, like we're actually watching like what we're looking at on the screen, so we can't even turn our heads anymore. And it's like we're just basically stuck sitting here staring at the goddamn screen all day. That's crazy. Our bodies are not meant to just sit in one position all day. In fact, I remember reading our bodies aren't even meant to sit down at all. We're actually constructed to either be laying down or walking or running or moving around. We're not even supposed to sit. And now like because of the way the world is, it's like we got to like sit and just stare at a screen all day, or on our phone. And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, like it's fucking up people's necks. It's messing up people's necks when they're just sitting there looking at their phone all day. Like that is not good for your neck. We're gonna have long-term health issues in this world because everyone's just sitting there looking down at their phone. That's terrible to have this kind of movement. We need that kind of movement to balance it out. So you got to do the backward bends. Everything in our society is trying to get us to do the forward, kind of hunched over bends. We got to do the backward bends as well. It's important. Any yoga instructor knows that the backward bends are important. The inversions are so important, right? Okay, where else are we at here? Sunrise, you got another clip here. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got going here, so I can nod my head.
You are pure divinity. You are divine. That is your nature. It's your eternal nature. That love and light flow within you eternally. That's who you are. You are divinity. And you're here to remember that, to remember your true essence. And once you do, then you can help others by spreading that love and kindness. And we're going to get through this together. We're going to conquer the ego. We're going to make it such a weird.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna conquer the ego. I'm all about conquer. Let's conquer. Let's get rid of this fucking ego that's ripping everyone apart. That's ripping apart the nature of our reality. It's just destroying everything. It's going to basically turn us into a big ball of fire pretty soon, unless we can just reunite. We need to reunite into one mind again. We need to come back and realize that we've never left our state of perfection. When we realize that we've never left our state of perfect love and peace, then all of a sudden everything makes sense. It's like why was I pissed at that person? They said some passive aggressive comment to me, yesterday, and like I'm gonna like hold a grudge or something. It's like no. If you the trick is to look at every other person with the same love and compassion that you look at with yourself. Now that's tough, right? Because what if someone attacks you, right? How do you look at someone with the same love and compassion as yourself if you're viewing them as guilty, as wrong, as bad? Well, because there's two levels. This is not just a single level thing, right? There's a level of the ego, the level of sensory. Kant referred to it as the phenomenal world. That's the world of sensory experience. So basically, we have our five senses, and we take in data from those five senses. By the way, it's just a very, very small amount of data because, we're in a finite form. We can't take in all of the data in the universe and process it, right? That would be crazy, right? So we're taking in this tiny little bit of data, and from that data, we're using the small amount of processing power that we have in our brains, to like actually take that data, process it, and then project our understanding of what we see onto the world around us, right? And then we make all these evaluations and judgments from that tiny subset of data, which doesn't make any sense because we don't have enough data to actually come to any kind of affirmative conclusions about anything. All we're doing is we're just basically making shit up which seems to make sense. We're making up narratives, we're making up stories. And in one of our favorite stories, one of humanity's favorite stories, and this has been going on for 10,000 years, 100,000 years maybe, is that you are guilty. You are the one who's at fault. You are the one who should be blamed. You are the one who is culpable and deserves punishment. And that's fucking insane. And I'm going to say that again. That is insane. The notion that there are people that are guilty and worthy of punishment is insane. Now, hold on. Some of you are saying, well, wait a minute. What about someone who goes around killing people, right? That person obviously is worthy of punishment. Okay, here's where we got the subtle distinction that needs to be drawn. Yes, if someone is a danger to themselves or others, they need to be, put somewhere where they're not going to be a danger, whether it's jail or an institution or something along those lines, right? They need to be put there because they're a danger. They're going to go around hurting others, right? Hurting other people's bodies. And that's a good thing to remember, right? Because the true essence, the true part of you, the part of you that's love, can never be hurt. That part can never be touched. That part is perfection and is perfectly, it's beyond comprehension for it to even feel attack. It can never feel attack. It's just pure love, right? So you can lock away the people that are doing things that are hurting others, right? But then you get them, but you do it with a compassionate heart, and that's the main difference. You look them in the eye and you say, you know what? I love you so much. I love you unconditionally. But we're going to have to get you rehabilitation. We're going to have to do something because you're going around hurting people. So that's the distinction. That's a very important point that's drawn. All right, where are we at here right now in chat? I know I always miss everything. Chat. Tai Chi with Agni. Yeah, it's funny. Like I've never been like super trained in Tai Chi. I don't know. I know hardly anything about Tai Chi, that particular discipline, but I just know like what movements feel right, like with my body, and like a lot of that came from when I started Qigong, years ago. I was able to like start feeling the energy, and I could like harness. I could harness the energy and kind of feel it moving around. You'll see a lot of people doing that with like the Qigong movements, and Kitten's Kung Fu. By the way, Kittens, I saw you pop in here. Let me give you a shout out right now because this is totally a great segue to do it. Kitten's Kung Fu is an incredible streamer here on Twitch in the fitness and health community. He knows Qigong and the internal energy arts so well. He knows his martial arts. He's also my Chi-Town brother. Definitely go check out Kitten's Kung Fu, his stream, and give him a follow whenever you can. He's a really, really nice dude, kind, loving, compassionate guy, and he's got the most amazing cat, Mia, who I want to introduce to Parmenides someday, my cat. That'd be kind of a cool meetup, right? Yes, back to stretching. Stretching is essential, right? Secret to stretching, right? All animals stretch, right? All animals stretch. Your cat stretch, your dog stretch. I mean, that's just what it. If it wasn't natural, we wouldn't do it, right? animals aren't going to do something that's not natural. You know, if a cat wants to stretch, it's going to stretch. It's not going to be like, oh, you know, I'm concerned about, you know, what people think, you know, or whatever, right? It's just gonna stretch because that's its natural state. So good to have you here, kittens. I hope you're doing well. I was able to catch your one stream that you did recently, and that was cool. It's good to have you back. You know, I know you've been super busy with working at the new gym and all that, and I hope everything's going well for you there. Mia is a master of stretching. Yeah, kittens kung fu's cat named Mia is a master of stretching, right? That cat will stretch like no one's business. And my cat stretches great too. Cats know how to stretch. Humans forget how to stretch. Humans forget how to stretch and forget how to drink water. The two most essential things to our bodies, like stretching and drinking water and like eating healthy. Like we forgot how to do it because everything's gotten so artificial. It's wild, right? We got to remember though. We got to remember to do those things, you know, to stretch and to do those things. It's so important. Redeem, stretch again. Redeem. All right, let's do it. I'll even move the chair out of the way, and you can see my back bends a little bit. I'm big into back bends. Here, this is the Bikram grip. This is the grip that we use in Bikram yoga right here. It's not like the normal closed hand grip. We have this kind of grip. So you're up like this, you know, and you do all sorts of stuff. We go like left and right to stretch. This is like the warm-up posture and down. But then also, you know, we have our backward bends. And those backward bends are crucial. we need those backward bends. We need those backward bends in our. Oh, what? All right, Sunrise. No, I'm. She's just. You know what? I'm gonna have to raise the amount of Zen points that stretching costs. I'll do a little. I can show you the stretch. I can show you the stretch that I do every morning. Yeah. We'll just keep doing it here. I'm just going to be stretching for the next like 3 hours. By the way, here's a stretch I do every morning. It's Kumnaye. You just massage up and down each finger, and then you just do this with your entire hand, right? This is a good way to get the blood flow and circulation going right off the bat, because when you wake up in the morning, your blood flow sucks, right? You haven't been moving. You've been laying still for hours, right? And then you just massage. You do self-massage, and you go up your arms, and I go over the chest, and then I do the same thing going down this arm, and then to the fingers as well, right? That's called Kumnaye. Kumnye is the name of it. It's another internal energy art. It's a lot of self-massage, and it basically prepares the body such that you're ready to go work out. Because I work out every day for 3 hours. Every morning I work out for 3 hours. It's my thing. I do it. I have to do it basically. So like if I'm gonna do it, I better prepare my body. I better stretch out. I better get some self massage in beforehand, and then I'll feel good and I'll feel strong and healthy. All right. We got a clip right here from Sunrise. Let's check it out. Let's see what's going on in this clip. It's a good looking back bend. Who is that guy? Yeah.
Those backward bends are crucial.
Oh God.
We need those backward bends.
We do need those. We need those back bends. Those back bends are so important. Stretch back, do backward bends. Do more stretching in your daily activities. Okay, hydrate. Sunrise, hold on. Sunrise, you redeemed hydrate. You redeemed like 3 stretches today, and you redeemed Parmenides, a Parmenides thing. I brought out the cat earlier, and the cat was just, digging into my neck. She likes to like stick her claws deep into my neck, and doesn't like being held sometimes. All right, kittens, you say, if you like that, I wonder if you'd enjoy parts of the seated 8 section brocade that I practice and teach. It includes a lot of self-massage and preventative medicine. I'm sure I would. I'm absolutely sure I would. Yeah, definitely. I mean, self-massage is so important. I mean, because unless you have the money to afford like a 2 hour massage every day, right? You got to be rich in America, in the USA, to do that. But I will say this: when I went to Thailand three years ago, guess who was getting 2 hour massages every single day? This guy, this guy, every day. I mean, imagine how awesome that I would work out and then I would literally go and get a 2 hour massage every day. And guess what it was costing me with tip? $14. How incredible is that? Imagine in the USA trying to get a 2 hour massage for $14 with tip. I mean, that's just crazy, right? That's craziness. But like massages are so cheap. I practically want to move to Thailand because of how cheap the massages are. I mean, and they were doing awesome. Those massage therapists are incredible there. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good to be there. Sunrise Reeds, you're saying a poll, should Agni do a Bikram yoga stream? Yeah, right. I would never even consider bringing my phone into the hot room. It would probably just destroy my phone. It's 105 degrees in there. I can't stream from the hot room. It would be kind of fun though. It would be super fun, just to have me doing all my Bikram yoga stuff. Oh, I can say this though. Those of you who are on Discord, come join my Discord. Let me do my Discord thing. I created a Discord server. So bam, and there's the command. So yeah, definitely. Let's see if it pops up. Let's see if it pops up. Here we go. Apparently it doesn't want to pop up today. That's really that's great. Good job. Good job. Discord command. There we go. All right. But anyways, I have a Discord server. It's called Evolve Yourself TV. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, it just took a little while to pop up. Okay, so yeah, I have a Discord server. Definitely join the server. You can see me doing. I think I have Bikram yoga poses in there, and if not, I'll put them in there. I have stuff that were taken from the hot room, and so yeah, you can see me doing all the Bikram yoga stuff. I'm just like this dude in there who's just like working out so intense and getting like really like in that Zen focused state of mind, where you have to be in order to do Bikram yoga, right? Otherwise, it just doesn't work. I mean, because dude, when you're in a place that's 105 degrees and you're doing these killer like workouts, these like ridiculously hard, you're like holding your leg like up here, on balancing on one leg, and your head is going down and touching your knee, and you're like holding it for like 60 seconds. I mean, dude, life gets crazy in there. It's like you're just dripping sweat. You're working as hard as you've ever worked out in your life. I mean, I've done every type of workout out there, and like, man, like the Bikram yoga just kills it. That's a tough workout. It's like, okay, let's take like some of the toughest working out that you can do, and then like let's put it in an environment that's 105 degrees, right? It's like, whoa, all of a sudden life just got crazy, right? And the crazy thing about it is, you're in a studio that has mirrors all the way on the main wall and then on the side wall as well, and I'm always right up at the mirror, right? And so you have to focus on yourself. This is one of the best ways I've ever figured out to improve my focus, because my focus is something that I deem very highly. I'm like super big into focus and like trying to stay focused on something. And the cool thing about Bikram yoga is the second you lose your focus, you're gonna fall out of the posture. Because a lot of it's like balancing on one leg with your other leg, like doing crazy stuff behind you, like in like a dancer type pose, or standing bow pose, or like standing head to knee, or like tree, any of that kind of stuff. The second you lose your focus, you're gonna fall out. The second you wipe your sweat, you're gonna fall out. The second so the person next to you, you start thinking about the person next to you, you're gonna fall out. So it's just basically they call it a moving meditation. They call it a 26 posture moving meditation, and it's 26 postures that were taken from the 81 postures of the Hatha Yoga set. So Bikram basically came along like, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago and was like, hey, I think these 26 postures can drive as much benefit as the 81 postures in the Hatha Yoga set. But we're getting a little bit hurt if we do it in a cold environment. Our body's not fully warmed up. So let's crank up that heat to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. And then so you're gonna go in there and you're gonna sweat. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel something. But it's meditation. It is literally a form of meditation. That kind of yoga. Terror time, bedtime for you. All right. Well, hey, it was so good that you stopped in. So good seeing you, Terror time. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful that you were able to be here. You know, it's awesome. It's awesome that you were that you were here and that you're doing your thing. You know, the Emote Queen. Definitely check out Terror Time's streams. Hey, Mobius is here. Hey, oh my God, I'm behind again in the chat. I didn't know it. Mobius, you kind of just snuck in here, huh? You just snuck in here, dude. You're a sneaky guy. Look at this. Look at this surreptitious dude, man. Just, I mean, Mobius is like my brother on here on Twitch, man. This guy. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the emote. That's the perfect emote to use, man. That's what you're thinking right now, dude. You are a sneaky, stealthy guy, man. I mean, like one day you're like lifting tons of weight, and then the next minute you're doing like Zen Lego gardens, man. It's like definitely check out Mobius. He is an authentic, genuine dude. And this is like him and DJ. I was talking about Imbalanced earlier. They both possess the quality of being authentic and true people to themselves, right? They're not full of bullshit. They're not full of bullshit. They're going to tell you it how it is to them, right? If they're feeling, a certain way, they're going to express it. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to express how they feel. And that's something that is super important, and I try to push that too. I try to be like that as well. I try to always express how I feel, what's going on in the deepest recesses of my heart, because if you are truly open with people, they may not like what you have to say, but they're at least going to respect you for being open with them and for being honest. And a lot of times you can bypass any ego dynamics if you're truly open with them. If you talk from a place of your heart and you communicate with someone from a place in your heart, then you know what? You're going to be able to bypass all the ego, and you're going to be able to get to the heart of whatever is causing an issue in your relationship with that person, and you're going to be able to connect with them and resolve it, and then move forward, in whatever way or shape or form that takes, right? And that's what we want. We want healthier, happier relationships with people in this world. And when we get that, when we can actually connect with people in a place of unconditional love, wow, we've just realized who we truly are. We can feel that perfect peace. We can fuck ego, absolutely. Mobius, you are on the same page as me, man. Same page. Fuck ego. Get all that shit out of here. It just clouds our minds. It fucks up our relationships. It does so much shit. We just got to get rid of it, clear it out of us. We need to purge all of humanity. Just needs to purge that ego from our thought system. I was talking earlier that the ego is like it's like an insane thought. It's like literally an insane belief that has crept into the human psyche. And this insane belief is basically saying something like along the lines of, what happens if you could do something that you can't do? Or what happens if X and not X can occur simultaneously. So if something could exist and something could not exist at the same time, it doesn't make any sense, because either something exists at one time, right? Or it doesn't exist, right? So like the ego is just like this tiny, crazy idea that has crept into the human psyche, and it basically is all about division. It wants to separate us. It wants us to divide us from one another. The media buys into it and tries to sensationalize everything and split us apart, because that's how they get you to click on a link. They want you to think there's an enemy. But there never was an enemy, and that's the funniest part about it. There is no enemy. There never was one. There's just our perfect love and the perfect love of all the people that exist in the world unconditionally. That's our foundational core, is that perfect love. The ego is just trying to make us think that we're these separate separate beings that like are just fighting for resources and trying to kill one another and whatnot. But no, that's not reality. That's reality from the stance of Kant's phenomenal world, from the stance of the illusory dualistic framework in which we perceive the reality, right? But that's not how it is in truth. In truth, we are pure love. That is our essence. That's our foundational core, and so is everyone else. And once we get rid of this fucking ego nonsense, we can reunite as one consciousness and be pure love together in monism once again. That's where we got to go. So yeah, Mobius, you're on point. Fuck ego. Fuck it. All right. Redeemed suggests a poll. Poll: should Agni do a bicker? Oh, dude. Oh my God. All right. There's just all sorts of crazy stuff going on. Who even redeemed that? Was that you, Sunrise? I think that was you. I think that was you. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't do a Bikram yoga stream. I don't care what the poll says. It's just I can't. First of all, I'm not even allowed to bring my phone into the Bikram yoga studio. Like that studio is like a sanctuary. You're not allowed to bring your phone into it. Hey, Imbalanced, hosting my stream. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, dude. You just pop in and out and pop in and out, and like you have like all these different names you come in with. You're DJ one day, you're John the next day, you're Imbalanced the next day. Like I never know what's going on with you, man. Trying to keep track of you is like trying to keep track of like of like politics or like where the world is or like the foundational core of reality these days, man. I mean everything's just getting messed up, man. But thank you for the host, dude. Much appreciated. All right, I don't know. Sunrise, you can throw that poll up. You can throw that poll up there. You're one of my mods, so if you know how to do it, do it. I do not know how to do the poll, so yeah, Kittens, you were saying you couldn't get 14 minutes for $14 here. Exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. That's so crazy. The price of massages, right? I mean, I was telling everyone earlier in the chat when I went to Thailand 3 years ago. $14. That's with tip included. That's like me giving a very generous tip. And I was getting a 2-hour massage. This was every fucking day. Every day I'm going and getting these amazing 2-hour massages for $14. And you're so right. You get in Chicago if you went into a massage therapy, a massage therapist, and you're like, hey, I want a 2-hour massage for $14. They would laugh in your face and they would kick you out of their establishment. It's a joke, right? Yeah, you couldn't get 14 minutes, a 14-minute massage for $14 here. No way. Absolutely no way. It would be impossible. Sunrise, you're saying change that to hot tub meditation stream then. All right, there's been a lot of pressure on me. You know what? I thought this was a safe space. I thought this was a safe space. there's been a lot of pressure on me lately to do hot tub streams. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Like all of a sudden these hot tub streams came up and now everyone wants me to do a damn hot tub stream and I'm so recalcitrant to the idea. I don't want to do a damn hot tub stream. Listen, now I know this might be hard for some of you to understand, but I am not an object. I am not an object, so don't treat me like an object. Everyone wants to see Agni James, shirtless and like in a hot tub, right? But like I am not an object. I am not an object, and I am. I know. Okay, I'm being like half facetious here, but like whatever. I'm also like playing around with this, but like I'm a meditation guide. I'm trying to teach you to like how to access that inner love within you, that state of oneness, that place of perfect peace, right? Because that's what we want at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm so sick and tired of all these ego battles that we get into with the world. Our boss who screams at us because something else happens in the boss's life, and they feel like by projecting their anger on you that like they're going to be able to disown that anger. And by the way, that's one of the ego's best tricks. The ego deals in projection. So what it does is, let's say you feel bad for something, within you, right? You have like some kind of deep-seated insecurity. The ego like looks around at all the people that you come into contact with throughout your day, and is like, oh, look, this person has the same issue that you have. They are guilty. They're the bad one. They're the wrong one, right? So then you, being, the loyal servant of the ego, are like, hey, look at this. I'm going to point out your fault. And it's going to make you upset, and you're going to point out their fault. You're going to say, hey, look, this is a bad person because they have this fault or whatever in their, in the way they live their lives. Maybe they gamble too much, or maybe they do some drugs that are too unhealthy, or maybe they are short with people or don't have much patience or whatnot, right? And the ego basically tells you, if you project that onto that other person, that you can temporarily disown that you can get rid of that own thing within you. So it's like, oh, I'm insecure about X, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to project my insecurity about X
onto someone else. I'm going to put it on someone else. And by doing so, then I'm going to feel perfectly clean and clear again because they're the bad ones, right? Not me. They are the one with the problem. But but the funny thing is, it's not funny. It's actually really sad. It's the reason why we're all stuck here, trapped here within this dualistic framework that doesn't even exist from the context of eternity. But the thing is, it doesn't even clear it out from you. If you put something on another person, whatever deep-seated insecurity or fear is in you that you're trying to project onto another person, it still is in you. It still is in you. It doesn't leave the source. A thought never leaves its source. So all you're doing is pissing off another human being, and then at the same time you're not doing anything beneficial for yourself even because you're just making yourself feel like shit. Oh, we got is Agni an object? Is Agni an object? Am I just an object? Am I just here for your viewing pleasure? Is that it? I mean, okay. Let me qualify this. We have you can predict with channel points. All right, I gotta predict. I gotta get in on here. Is it gonna let me predict? I am not an object. I am not an object. Wait, let me predict. Oh, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna let me because I'm the one doing this. Is Agni an object? All right, here we go. Here we go. I am not an object. Yeah, I am not an object. Oh, come on, let me predict. Oh, it's not. It's glitching on me. All right, but 100%. Hey, look at that. 100% is saying that I am not an object. Whew, I made it. I passed the test. I have passed the test. All right, I'm officially not an object. I'm officially a human being that's trying to spread love and light into the world. So that's good. Because yeah, I don't want to be an object. Let me tell you though about being looked at as an object. My first job, and I don't think I've ever shared this on stream. Actually, I don't think I've ever shared this. I was actually a model and an actor. I was a child model and actor. That was literally that was my first job ever. Isn't that crazy? So I was doing this for a living. For a living, I was 13 years old, right? But I was even younger than that. How old are you in third grade? Because that's when I was doing it. I was doing it in third and fourth grade. Every day I would I would be traveling to Chicago, around Chicago to different auditions and things like that. And I got some gigs and I got some work and I made some money. And that's pretty badass for like a young kid, a third grader to be a child model and actor. Like that's amazing, right? So that was pretty cool. My one claim to fame. How many of you have seen the Addams Family, right? Yeah, I've seen the Addams Family Values, right? I almost scored the role for Pugsley in the Addams Family, and this is totally legit, totally true. This is a perfectly legit thing. I got through the first audition, then I got through the second audition, and then it came down to me and three other kids. Three other kids, were sitting around fighting for that part for Pugsley for the Addams Family, and I didn't get it. One of the other kids beat me out, and he was the one that became Pugsley. He was in the Addams Family and the sequel and all that stuff. But yeah, that was my early childhood claim to fame. I was a child actor. Wait, what's this? Is Agni an object again? Oh, what we have this going on again? Is this? Prediction ended. Oh no, okay, it just popped up again. All right, so I'm not an object. Well, it's good to know that I'm not viewed as an object, because I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be nice to be viewed as an object, right? Like maybe for like a short period of time, the attention might be nice, but I'd actually prefer not to be viewed as an object. I don't want to be rolling around in a hot tub. That's not my calling in life. Okay, if I had two choices, I could have a bunch of people drooling over me, rolling around in a hot tub, right? Or B, if I could help people reach inner peace and feel the love within them and find that eternal love and vanquish the ego from their minds and help everyone reunite in a state of one consciousness and one being and just get rid of all that ego nonsense and repair all of our relationships and with our family members and friends and just everyone in the world and just enjoy life and be at that place. If those are my two choices, I'd definitely rather be an object. No, I'm just, right? It doesn't, the question doesn't even fucking arise, right? The question doesn't even arise. I'm here to try to like spread love and joy in the world, right? By teaching others to feel the love and joy within them. And then the way I do it is because, okay, some of you might be aware of this. I've had major ego issues in my past, right? I've used to have a crazy fucking ego when I was younger, like when I was like a teenager, man. I thought I was the fucking best thing in the world. I had crazy ego issues. I thought that everyone should bend the knee to me. Like I was literally thought that when I was a teenager. I was like that, like my mental state was that skewed, and I would live my life because I was quick and witty and funny and good looking and whatnot and like intelligent, and people wanted to fucking be around me all the time. So I was always like, oh, everyone fucking loves me. Everyone loves me. I'm the best. I'm the best thing. I was an athlete. I was doing all this shit right. I was doing everything great, and then that completely backfired. If you hold that view, if you go into that ego state and then really get it reinforced by the public, by like everyone telling you, oh my god, you're so great, right? Then you're going to become a piece of garbage eventually. You're just going to become this ego-centered individual. And so I've been having to battle back from that state of heightened ego presence to like this more humble state, right? And I do that through meditation and just connecting with others, right? And so like there are times where ego creeps back into my mind a lot, and I just gotta deal with it. All right, we gotta move on in the chat. We're just so fucking far behind right now. There's no catching up. This is it. I'm gonna have to skip some stuff. Please don't hate me if I skip your message. I love you all unconditionally. Kittens, you say your phone would overheat and your CPU would fry. Yeah, right. If I did Bikram yoga on stream. Mobius with the emotes. All right, we have another stretch one. I'm just gonna do a little quick chair stretch. Just kind of stretch it out a little bit. Focus. Yeah. All right. Where are we at here now? Mobius, by the way, I still love your comment. It's so perfect. You just say fuck ego, right? Because that's how it is, right? Fuck it. It does nothing for us. It does nothing good for us, right? No one's a fan of like. No one's a fan of someone with a big ego. If it's in jest, it can be funny, right? Like the way that like Andy Kaufman did Tony Clifton, right? That could be funny, right? Or like how the professional wrestlers, like the WWE and all that, they would have these exalted egos, and it was like fun, it was like a fun joke thing, right? We have another prediction. Prediction result is no. All right, so I'm not. By the way, the prediction was am I an object? That was, oh no, will Agni become something? 10, go to Christine Bean. We have a new one. Will Agni become an actor? All right, so let me see. I want to vote. Oh, I think I'm not going to become an actor. I'm not going to become an actor again. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be my role, right? I gotta spread the love and the peace. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be an actor. I think that time is done in my life. In third grade, I was a fucking phenomenal actor, and model. I was. Oh, here's another funny story. There was a textbook manufacturer. I always forget the name. It was something like Houghton Mifflin or Houghton Milton, something like that. They made like textbooks for grade school kids, right? Anyways, they literally hired me to be in the textbook that we were using that we were going to use the exact same year in social studies class. So my teacher fucking hated me, and every time she opened the book, there's my face on the front fucking page of the textbook going like this. Like I'm making a fist and I'm just like this with a few other kids situated around me. So my teacher, who hated me, every time she opened her book, she had to stare at my face, and I thought it was like the funniest thing in the world. That was one of the gigs that I got as a child model actor. All right, what's going on? We have all these predictions going on. Will Agni stream for 3 hours today? Oh, this is getting crazy. I don't know. It's been 2 hours and 34 minutes. I can't see myself streaming for that long, but it's possible, and it always likes to fuck with me when I try to vote. Come on, it just doesn't want me to vote on my own stream. It's like, dude, this is my own fucking stream, and I don't even get a vote. I don't even get a vote. It's like, what kind of shit is this, right? I mean, everyone else can vote, but I don't get a vote. I don't think I'm going to stream for 3 hours. I mean, it's been 2 hours and 34 minutes. I mean, unless we keep going. I mean, if we have good energy, if we have a good vibe going, then yeah, maybe I'll do it, you know. But like, I mean, we have a good vibe going right now. I mean, we got the fact that we got Mobius in the chat. I mean, alone is like saying that we got a good vibe going. Hey, Mobius, where's your counterpart? Get Allie in here. Tell Miss Smalls to get in here and hang out with us. You know, we got a party going on in here. Mobius, you said as soon as you think you're better than someone else, you're bottom of the barrel, bud. Absolutely, absolutely, totally the case, totally the case. And that's just it. That's literally how it is. If you think that you're better than another person in any way, shape, or form, if you're just thinking that you're better than someone, then you immediately go to the bottom. You immediately are the least, right? Never think that you're better than anyone else. Never think that your shit doesn't stink. Never think that you're just this great phenomenal thing and you're way higher than everyone else on the planet. That's a recipe for disaster. If you want to be, I'll tell you what though. Let's say you want to devote your life to misery and to being miserable and unhappy. Well, then guess what? That's the way to do it is by thinking you're better than everyone else. You know, that if you think you're better than everyone else, you will live a miserable life until you come to that realization that you're the same as everyone else. Because by thinking you're better than everyone else, that implies division, that implies separation, that implies that one person is higher than another person, and that there's that inequality exists between the people, right? And there is no inequality that actually exists between people in that sense, in the sense of our genuine foundational worth. Hey, Allie Smalls is here. Mobius did bring you in. Awesome. So cool. I was just yelling at him to bring you in here. I was talking about positivity, and we're talking about the ego, and Mobius made a good point. By the way, his best point today, he literally, he's been talking a lot, but his best point was when he said, fuck ego, because that's exactly the case, right? The ego is just gonna make us feel like shit. It's gonna make us, it's gonna damage our relationships with the people that we love in this world, and just the people that, with everyone in the world, right? It's like a parasite. The ego is like a parasite that tries to like get us to think we're better or more superior in some way, shape, or form than others. Never listen to the ego. Never listen to the ego. And Mobius, yeah, I love that point you made. As soon as you think you're better than someone else, you're bottom of the barrel. That's so true. Quantum superposition only works if you're a subatomic particle. Yeah, and then there is all that. I think I know what you're referring to. I think I remember the context, but yeah. Sunrise, you say your mind is your biggest enemy. Absolutely. And you know what? This is so important. This is so important for everyone to realize and for everyone to know. Jerry Fodor, Fodor. He's one of the big names in philosophy of mind. He's done a tremendous amount of stuff. He created the language of thought hypothesis, and the language of thought hypothesis is really cool because it basically likens the mind to a computer. It basically says the human consciousness, the human mind, is a computer with a syntactic and a semantic component. So it has these two components, and those components basically enable us to think with consciousness and whatnot. And so that's his philosophy of mind contribution, one of many. But Fodor is also known for saying a really cool quote, and this is one of my favorite quotes. He said, "The enemy lies within the gates." And I'll say that again. The enemy lies within the gates. Right? Think about how cool of a quote that is, right? Because people are always looking externally for their enemy. It's like, oh, that person lives on in a different country than me because we arbitrarily made some some line in the sand 100 years ago, and we made these different countries, so they're our enemy, or like the color of their skin is different than my color of skin, so they're my enemy, right? People have all these fucking insane notions about where the enemy is, but in truth the enemy lies within. It's the ego. It's the ego thought that can creep into our minds that makes us feel separated and apart from everyone else. But when we come to realize that our true essence is love and pure love, then we go into that, and we're not disrupted by that, by the ego. By the way, Allie, I don't know if I even gave you that shout out. Let's I think the automatic shout out might have come through. Maybe. But anyways, Allie is an incredible streamer here in the Twitch fitness and health community. She's filled with love and light. She's her partner in crime is Mobius. Definitely go check out Allie's next stream. She knows her shit, basically. At the end of the day, she knows her shit. And it's really cool to be able to go to her streams and learn about like weightlifting and not just weightlifting and bodybuilding, but like all sorts of other aspects of health. So definitely check out Allie Smalls. Check out her streams. Drop her a follow. You will not be disappointed. 100% guaranteed. You have the Agni James vow of approval right here. All right, where are we at here? Where are we at now in this chat? We're moving. Sunrise, you feel rude? No. Sunrise, by the way, I'm very sarcastic. I don't know what I said. But it was. I'm sure it was like a sarcastic thing. You never listen, Sunrise. I don't think it's I don't think it's possible. I don't even think it's metaphysically possible for you to like be rude to me. Like for you to be rude. You're just like one of the nicest, kindest people I know. So don't ever apologize for being rude. Like oh, and by the way, I'm super open and honest. So if I ever see something, if someone ever does say something to me that I feel is like a disparaging remark or whatnot, I'll call them out on it, and or maybe not. Maybe I'll just overlook it, not even care about it, right? That's the way I operate. But yeah, you don't have to you don't have to ever think that you're being rude to me in any way, shape, or form. Imbalanced, you heard Hot Tub Stream. That's always the thing with you, Imbalanced. It's like whenever I raid the guy, he doesn't have a shirt on to begin with. And then he's like pressuring me about hot tub streams and shit like that. Like I don't want to do a hot tub stream. I know, I get it. People want to see me, getting drunk in the hot tub, but like it's just not going to happen. I mean, I know I was a child actor and model. And that does carry some weight. I can still use it. When I was doing OkCupid, that's on my OkCupid profile. child actor. So, but I told them though. I also said I was a child actor, but you don't need to be intimidated. Because that's just how it goes. Not everyone can have this beautiful mug, right? No, I'm just totally kidding. I'm being a total facetious, sarcastic dude here, because that's how I am. All right, here we are. Mobius, you said, yes, the one-uppers. Yeah. Right? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You get the one-uppers all the time, man. You get those people. They're like, you're like, dude, I just lift. You're like, dude, man, I just did 50 push-ups. I'm feeling so good and strong. I just did 50 push-ups. They're like, well, guess what? I just did 51 push-ups, or whatever, right? They always have to one-up whatever you're doing, right? Mobius, you say, how do you build the tallest building? You either build the tallest building or you knock down all the ones that are taller than yours. Yeah, and there are people that do that. They do that for a living. They try to go around to all the people in their lives and just like make them feel small and little, right? Like how disgusting is that, right? How disgusting is that, to try to make others feel small just so you can feel greater, right? What a fucked up concept. Like whoever came up with that notion, whoever originally, whoever was the OG of that notion, is really like a sad, human being that's worthy of compassion and love. But man, it's like why would you ever come up with that notion? All right. A sexual object. Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just going to be I'm going to start the new hot tub sexual hot tub stream on Twitch. Oh God. Chat turns Agni into let's see this clip. Let's see this clip that we got here.
It's glitching on me. It's glitching on me. All right. But 100%. Hey, look at that. 100% is saying that I am not an object.
Yeah, look at that. 100% of the people here are saying I am not a sexual object to just to be looked at. I am more than an object, all right? I am far superior to that. So don't I hate when people just think, oh, he's just this, amazing looking dude, who just like is just on there and we're just going to drool over him, right? No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's kind of funny. All right, we got another prediction. Oh no, should Agni do hot tub streams hypothetical? Oh, geez, everyone is being rough. Everyone is being rough today. All right, let me predict. Let me see if I can actually cast my prediction this time. I don't think it lets me because streamers can't cast a prediction on their own channel. It literally says that. I think that's bogus. I think that's total bogusness. I don't know if you all the rest of the streamers knew that, but yeah, we cannot cast our own votes here. So it's all up to you. It's all up to chat. All right, where are we at here? Where are we at? We're missing a lot of stuff in chat. Mobius, you say people that are objectively better than everyone with skill, knowledge, or experience will organically want to teach and build up others' skills, knowledge, experiences. That is such a good way of putting it. Absolutely. Yeah, right? Because if you feel confident, if you feel good with what you know, like let's say your existence, you spent your whole life, okay, let me tell you something I'm good at, right? I'm good at playing chess, right? That's what I do for a living. I'm literally I am a chess instructor. That is my job. That is how I pay my bills. That is how I survive. So I teach chess, right? So I also play competitively. I play in the Chicago Open. I play in tournaments all over, right? It's like it's my game. It's like what I'm good at, right? So like yeah, I'm never trying to bring down people. If someone doesn't know as much chess as I do, if someone is not as skilled at chess, I would never tell one of my students, oh, guess what? You suck because you moved your knight to a4 and knights are not supposed to be on the edge of the board. And so why would you do that? It's like I would never tell one of my students that, I try to build up their confidence. I try to build them up by showing them all the things that they do right, because that's important. If you show someone something that they're doing right as opposed to something that they're doing wrong, it can make a world of difference. Now, when they do make mistakes, do I like show them like, hey, look, here was where a miscalculation occurred, or here was what was your idea here, right? I'll get them to think about it, right? But I'm not gonna like say they're like a terrible person for like making a mistake in a chess game, right? That just wouldn't be. That's not how I am. And same thing with meditation. I teach meditation, and so like. If I see something that I can offer that will help you, do better meditation, then I'm going to offer it, right? Sunrise, do you have to go? Hey, it was so nice having you here. Thank you so much for being an incredible moderator and a wonderful human being. I totally appreciate everything you do for this channel, and I appreciate our friendship. Thank you. All right. Allie Smalls, you say, oh, thank you. You've been sitting here listening to Mobius' computer with him, enjoying the conversation as always. Oh, cool. So you're here. So you've been here anyway. Yeah. I never know how it works with couples, I never know how it works, Sometimes, because like my ex-girlfriend and I, we used to sit and watch streams together, and we'd be like, wow, that's good content, from different streamers. Like I remember we were sitting watching Grace Yoga. She's an absolute pro. Grace is just incredible. She was here earlier. But anyways, we were watching Grace, and I was just like, man, she knows her yoga. She really is just, and her meditations are just on point. I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible watching all this beauty, come from her stream at one time, and yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes, Sunrise, you said you were joking about the rude. Don't worry, we are the light and love. We are the light and love, absolutely. Imbalance, not everyone is different. My hot tub stream was for community challenge, nothing more. I did my part. I saw the results. I'm not going to do it again. As said before, it's your stream. You control your content. No one else can. Yeah, exactly, right? And like going shirtless, what does it prove, right? It doesn't prove anything, right? It's just, I have it on there though for 50,000. I had to jack up the channel points from 25,000 to 50,000 because I got like 2 redemptions pretty quick. Apparently everyone wants to see me with my shirt off. Go to my Discord though. Here, Everyone sign up for my Discord. You can see me with my shirt off. And you can see me shoveling snow in winter with my shirt off because I say fuck the cold. I'm not one to like fucking be afraid of the cold. And I do the Wim Hof. I do some Wim Hof stuff, his breathing technique, which enables you to actually go out in the cold and exist out there and not feel that cold. Tibetan monks have been doing this shit for ages. They've known about this stuff forever. But yeah, Wim Hof learned it from them, I believe. All right, Sunrise, you say, damn it, you'll vote, and you can choose its outcome. Cool. All right. Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I've been streaming 2 hours and 50 minutes, which is pretty long for me. Oh, Subi Blue's here. Hey, how's it going, Subi? So glad that you're here. You love the cold too. Yeah, I love the cold. I love going out there, especially like working out really intense. Like I'll do my 105-degree Bikram yoga, class, right? So it's like I'm sweating for 90 minutes in 105-degree weather, and then I'll immediately, walk out of the studio into like 0 degree Fahrenheit temperature, right? I'm just like or 0 degree weather, right? I'm going out into the freezing cold, not 0 degree, whatever. I'm just going out into the freezing cold. That's the point I'm trying to make here. And it's just like I feel rejuvenated. I feel great. And there's also now a large body. Okay, the traditional view was that that's super unhealthy to do that, right? People were saying, hey, it's not healthy to go from like hot to cold, right? Those extremes. But now there's a lot of scientific research that's actually coming forth that's saying that it actually really is helpful in some ways. Like it boosts your immune system. People are doing cryotherapy now. Those of you who don't know what cryotherapy is, it's basically just going in like this ice chamber and you're like, or like, whatever, and you're like in there for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, a couple minutes. And it supposedly boosts the efficacy of your immune system, which is totally cool to think that like going out in the cold, is not going to actually catch you a cold like they used to say, but it's actually going to make you like stronger and healthier and feel more vibrant and alive. I have yet to try the cryogenic chamber, but I'm going to try it at some point. But I mean, at the same time, on a really cold day, you can always just go outside if you live in an environment that has those cold temperatures. Let's see. Mobius, you said, but how cold are we talking here? Well, and that's a good question, right? That's a good question. I think it's going to be different for every individual. I will say this. When that fucking polar vortex came through in 2019, it came through Chicago, and I don't know if it hit Canada or not, but like it came through Chicago. It was negative 30 degrees here. And I was working out right here. I was just fucking working out, doing my thing. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going out on my balcony for a while. And I just took off my shirt. I got in shorts and I just went out on my balcony and like my body was just steaming. I was like steaming. It was like I looked like a superhero. I had like smoke just coming off me, especially my head. Dudes with shaved heads or women with shaved heads, when they have a lot of internal body temperature, it's like their heads just smoke. And I was just out there and I was just like in that cold, and that was negative 30 degrees. Now, did I stay out there long? Hell no. Negative 30 degrees. I mean, you can get like frostbite and whatnot. That's like kind of dangerous shit, right? But like, I've shoveled my friend's driveway, a few days prior to that when it was less cold, and I was barefoot. I was walking around in the snow just totally barefoot. And I did the Wim Hof breathing technique, and I felt strong. I felt healthy. And I also was, kind of I had a good sense of body awareness that day, where I felt that my body was like in good shape, ready to handle all of that. So and that's another major thing. You have to have that body awareness. And anyone who works out, Mobius, Ali Smalls, Sunrise, you all know about this. You all know about like knowing where your body is on a given day, right? Because there's some days where your body is just like you'll feel something in your elbow and you'll be like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't put extra weight on the bar today. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Something's not right with my elbow, right? Or you'll notice like something in maybe like in a different part of your body, right? And that's something that comes with working out and getting injured. I mean, typically people have to get injured to learn that lesson, and it's not a fun lesson to learn. I've had to learn that lesson many times. I've been injured so many times in my life from all the sports that I've done throughout my life and all the working out, even yoga. I've gotten injured from yoga. It's crazy. It's like, dude, it's like, how am I getting injured from doing yoga, But it's because I push it too much, I'll be in a pose and like I'll be dominating the pose. I'll have it. My breath will be perfect. I'll be holding my pose. If it's like 105-degree heat in the Bikram yoga studio, and I'll be just holding it. I'll be holding it, and then I'll feel a little something in my knee, and I'll be like, should I continue the pose or should I back off and back off the pose? Now yoga teaches you to have that body awareness and to back off of a pose if it's going to cause you pain, but there are times where a little ego will creep in and you'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna power through this shit, right? And the second I do that, then I get injured and tear my meniscus. I tore my meniscus in my knee, I tore my labrum in my hip in just doing yoga, just because I was overdoing it, and pushing it too hard. And these are things we got to watch out for. And with working out, the same thing. You don't want to work out. I always used to just go as hard as I possibly could every single time, and that takes its toll on your body. Your body just gets like, your body can get like ripped apart. You start developing joint pain. Think about the older fitness and health community. A lot of them, like the huge big bodybuilders, have some joint pains and shit like that, right? Because they overdid it. And I'm sure that the steroids didn't help back in the day either. But you know what I mean? Like when people overdo it, when people push too much, it's like it tears apart your body. Our bodies were not made to push too far. If we have pain, we have to be aware of that, right? All right. Yeah, a big shout out to Subi Blue, another streamer here on Twitch. Definitely check out Subi streams, quality streams, whenever you get a chance. Subi, you say no thyroid, you are in shorts, and no thyroid, you are in shorts and shirt year round. Totally. I'm the same way. Dude, when I was a little kid, like I hated putting on that winter coat. If I put on a winter coat, I would just start sweating all over the fucking place. I don't care how cold it is out. I'm gonna sweat if I'm in a winter coat. I would love the moment I could just like get away from my parents, like walk around the corner of the block or something, then take off my winter coat so I wouldn't get in trouble and I'd be like steaming. I'd be like just burning up. I emit a lot of body heat. I'm like a furnace. I pump out heat and energy, and just like that's just how I am. So yeah, shorts and shirt year round. I get that. I totally get that. That's the way I want to be. That's the way. But it's weird. Here's another weird thing. Like when I go to Bikram yoga in the winter, when I leave, I'm walking outside without a shirt. I'm literally in shorts. Basketball shorts that I wear, into the studio. No shirt, and then I wear sandals. I just wear like flip flops, right? So like, I'm walking down the street with no shirt on. I'm getting the craziest fucking looks from people, right? People are like, dude, it's like 0 degrees out here. Like you're walking around without a shirt. I walk up, but it's not that super far of a walk to my car. I get in my car though, and and like, I'm just driving around without a shirt, and driving home without a shirt, and like people are driving by and they're like giving me double takes. They're like, who's this dude out there without a shirt? Like what's he doing? Isn't the cold bothering him? And like I got my windows open half the time. It's just when I'm in and I think this is how it is. Like when we're in, and it's different with everyone's bodies, right? There are some body types that tend to get cold, much more frequently, but they can withstand like hotter temperatures better too. So it's just different. It's different with everyone. We just have to err on the side of caution a little bit. But remember, you're stronger than you think. But just don't overdo it. Don't hurt yourself. Okay, Mobius, he said, okay, you get cold down there. Yeah, we had that polar vortex. You're from Canada, right? You're from Canada, you and Allie. So like you guys know cold. You understand cold up there. But we did have that polar vortex. -31, I think, was what the lowest it hit down here, and that was in 2019, and that was wild. That was fucking wild. -31. That's no joke. That's no joke. That temperature is serious. Subi, you did boot camp at Great Lakes. It gets cold there. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. I live outside of Chicago, so I'm not far from Lake Michigan. But yeah, that's cool. You were at the Great Lakes. I'm assuming you were talking about the Great Lakes Naval Base or whatever. That's awesome. Yeah, it does get cold, man. Chicago's a crazy place. And we have a lot of coldness. We have a lot of like I always say about Chicago, we have the best food in the world, but we also, or in the U.S. I'll say the U.S. to make it more modest. but we also have the highest murder rate in the U.S. So like it kind of balances out a little bit, right? we got burgers and blood, the best food that you're ever gonna find, but you might get shot. I mean that's the where I live, that's like the environment that I live in. So yeah, come to Chicago, enjoy the food, and but stay safe, right? All right, I think this is good. I think this has been a good stream. There was a poll out there earlier that said, was I going to stream for 3 hours? It's been 2 hours and 58 minutes, and I think it's about time to wind it down. Right about 3 hours. Unless there's something that someone else wants to talk about. If there's something that someone else wants to say, let's go into it. Otherwise, we are going to wind down for the night. Oh, JT Farms, love to all. It's so nice that you're here. It's so nice that you're here, JT Farms, and that you're such. Oh, by the way, those of you who don't know, JT Farms is my channel shaman. She kind of sometimes is in the background lurking and just doing her thing, but she regulates the energy. It's like if she brings in the good energy and then filters out the bad energy. She keeps people in line, right? She definitely keeps people in line. So definitely give her respect. Give her respect. She's worthy of it, and she's a phenomenal poet. And her and I have done a bunch of collabs together. We're both poets, and that's something else to do. By the way, another reason for you to join my Discord, you can check out some of my poetry that I've written in there. I think I got 5 poems in there right now. And if you ever want to hear a poem read on stream, just you can redeem that as well. It's a lot of channel points, but I will. I have been reading some poems on stream too. Allie, you say you only know Chicago from the TV show Shameless. Yeah, but you know what? The show Shameless is kind of how it is. It's a little ridiculous. Chicago is. It's like it's not the cleanest place in the world. It's but we have a lot of anger, and there's a lot of frustration in this city. Chicago's very. People talk like this a lot. We talk like this in Chicago, South Side. You come here, you get your blood in your burgers. You might get shot, but you're gonna get the best food on the planet. So come here, come to Chicago. See the Sears Tower. If you call it the Wells Tower, you might get shot. That's like how everyone talks in the South Side of Chicago. That weird Chicago accent. All style light, Chicago spear. That's how we talk. It's like a weird like South Side Polish accent that we have. I don't know where it came from. Actually I do. I guess it came from the South Side Polish people, right? And the South Side Irish. We have the different groups. Basically you would not believe how many dialects there are in Chicago. It's crazy. It's crazy the way how many ways people speak. Yeah. Chicago, otherwise known as Chi-Town. By the way, those of you who are not from Chicago, we call it Chi-Town also. Those of you who are into the marijuana, when back in the day when I was a kid, or not a kid, but when I was 16, 17, 18 growing up, people used to call the marijuana we got here Chi-Town Brown, because it would come in from Mexico, and they would sneak it in, they would smuggle it in from Mexico, and you'd get it, and it would literally be there would be these rectangular cubes that were wrapped up of marijuana, and it was just brown and dirty and disgusting, and but people would smoke it. My friends would smoke it. I'd see people they'd buy a bag, and it would be just the corner of the bag, and it would just be a weird there were no nugs. It was just all compacted into one thing. Yeah, that's a history of marijuana in Chicago. Just so you know, I figured I'd throw that in there. Yeah, now marijuana is legal everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but it's legal so many places, right? Mobius and Alley, I think pot's legal, right? We're in Canada, right? Is it legal throughout the entire Canada, or just certain provinces? I live in Illinois, and marijuana just became legal, I think 2 years ago. It was crazy, a year and a half ago or something like that. Oh, it is the whole of Canada. Cool, yeah. And then it's legal. We have a weird battle going on in the USA. People are marijuana is the devil, and then some people are marijuana is helping me with anxiety, and is helping relieve the pain from my cancer. So some states that tend to be more conservative in the USA. tend to like ban marijuana and keep it banned, and states that are more liberal are like more like, hey, dude, it's just pot. People were smoking this in the '60s. It's not gonna. I mean, and if you think about pot, right? It's like how many fights actually break out because people get high, right? It's like think about it's kind of like weird that pot was illegal for so long and that alcohol was legal, right? Because like I mean everyone knows of fights breaking out, when people are drunk, right? You always hear about this, you've experienced people. I'm sure people in this chat might have experienced it at times, right? You go to a bar and like people are drunk looking for fights, right? But like how many people are like getting in fights when they're high? It's like you never see someone that's just like man, I want to murder everyone right now. I want to murder the world. That's how I feel. It just doesn't fucking happen. When people smoke pot, they chill out. They're not ready to like throw down like because like someone accidentally stepped on their shoe at a bar or something like that, right? Uh, let's see, Subi, you say it's legal. Yeah, legal in Washington State. Absolutely, right? Absolutely, it's legal in Washington. I have a good friend. I have two good friends that moved to Oregon. It's legal in Oregon. It's legal in Illinois. Um, it's crazy, right? It's crazy how it's spreading right all over the country, right? More and more places are making it legal for either for just medicinal purposes or for everything in general. And in Oregon, it's crazy. They just made I believe they made everything legal, right? Is that what's going on? Like even like hallucinogenic mushrooms? Like it's wild like how far we've come in such a short period of time with with the legalization process of certain substances and whatnot, right? All right. Yeah, it's a freaking plant, Mobius. You're totally right. It's a plant. We're literally making a goddamn plant illegal. It's like, hey, what's that thing growing in your yard? What's that thing growing in your forest? On your land? Yeah, it's you got a plant growing. Hey, you got a plant. You have a plant growing, in all that fertile soil back in your yard. Would like that? You can't have that. You can't have that. You can't have a plant growing in your yard. It's fucking ridiculous, right? It's absurd, right? Um, Mobius, you say you're gonna murder this bag of Funyuns. Mobius, you're too healthy to eat Funyuns. No Funyuns for you, man. No Funyuns for Mobius. Allie, make sure he doesn't eat those Funyuns. He cannot. He's not allowed to eat Funyuns. You gotta step up and get on him health wise about this shit. You're his nutrition specialist these days. Allie, you said you remember the first time it was in my carry-on. You were freaked out going through security. They didn't even bat an eye. Yeah, right. I'd be freaked out too, right? It's totally crazy, right? People have such a weird overreaction to marijuana, and it's fading away, right? That movement, that overreaction, the whole war on drugs, right? That was a complete disaster and made everything worse. Is just kind of fading away as like the older generation that was like really anti marijuana, it just ceases to basically have influence and power over what happens. So now it's like the younger generation that's like, dude, if I want to like take like one hit of pot because it relieves my social anxiety and like and helps me deal with things in my world, like then why should I not be able to, right? Like the younger generation is just so much more like cool and tolerant, like um I didn't have a ton of contact with like 17, 18, 19, 20 year olds in the last 10 years of my life because I don't have any family members that are that old, that are that age, and I don't hang out with people that are that age typically because I'm a little bit of an older dude, it's not my generation, 17-year-olds, right? But I got a job. Well, actually, first I started volunteering at a local college's theater department, building sets, right? It was because I realized I knew nothing about theater, right? And I wanted to learn about theater, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start volunteering at this local college and construct sets, for their plays. So I would build these big windy staircases and just be in there. And my coworkers were like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, college students, right? And talking with them, it made me feel so good. It's like, what wonderful people. We have such a great young generation of people coming out that just it just really fills me with love and joy and hope. Because the thing is, it's they're so like they're so accepting and tolerant of other people and like whatever your sexual orientation is, whatever your whatever you would choose to identify with. I mean, like anything, like all that stuff. They're so cool with it. They're tolerant. They're loving, compassionate people. It's like, I mean, that shit, that old mindset that like everyone was like freaked out, when if someone would have like a sexual orientation that was different than theirs, that's gone. That's going to be pushed out of here eventually. This movement is definitely throwing those notions out of there. At least in the U.S., I should add with one qualification. At least in like Canada and like the USA and other places like that. There's still some oppressive regimes out there, right? Look what's going on in Afghanistan. I mean, that's fucking madness, right? It's like, oh, you're a woman, so therefore you have to like, cover your whole face and like, or else we're gonna burn you to death. Like insanity, right? And if they, the funny thing is, it's not funny, it's actually horrific. But the thing is, if the person who held those views that women need to cover their face or else they're a terrible person, if they actually like saw that the woman and the man are actually identical, that we're all oneness, that we're all part of the same love, they would never want to oppress another human being, because that would mean to oppress themselves, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And I know I'm getting a little political here, and sorry about that, but that's just how I feel. All right, where are we at here? Subi, you only wanted to murder a pizza. Well, that's how it is in Chicago. If you come to Chicago, you got to get pizza. We have the best pizza in the fucking planet, and we do want to murder pizzas in Chicago. And you want to get like some deep dish. You can get deep dish. You can get thin crust too, but the deep dish, like Uno's do, is you go into that, you want to murder that pizza. You want to just chow into that. And it's like, if you work out as much as I do, you need fuel. You need that fuel to power your workouts, to power your body. Because I'm always hungry, and I'm just pounding meat all day, and I just eat as much. Pounding meat all day, that came across real great. What I'm trying to say is I'm eating a lot of protein. All right, let me just try to say it like in a more tactful, better way, right? Mobius needs to bulk. You need to bulk. You need that food too, right? Yeah, a lot of us, we need that protein. It's crazy. It's like, when I was younger, everyone's like, "Oh, you better stay away from meat. You're gonna get fat. You're gonna get fat if you eat that steak. You're gonna get fat. You're gonna be like 700 pounds. You better not eat that steak. And now it's like the whole paradigm is shifted, and it's like, oh yeah, if you want to like get built, if you want to bulk up and get huge and like feel that strength within you and feel that internal power, meat is precisely what you need. You need protein. You need fucking protein, and you can get it from vegetable sources. You can get it from a pea protein, any other way you want. You can get it from whey protein. All these other sources, but at the same time, it's like you need that protein. If I don't get enough protein because of how much I work out, like I start turning into like this like crazy like raging animal. Like I need food. I power through food like no one's business. My friends are like, dude, you eat so fucking much, Like I'm the guy who will go to a cookout, and like I will literally, they'll be like, assuming there's plenty of food for everyone, right? If there's plenty of food for everyone, I will literally go to the fucking grill, and I'll put like 7 burgers on my plate, like 7. But no bun. I say fuck the bun, because that's just fucking carbs, and it's not doing anything for your body. But I will literally eat fucking seven burgers, like 7 good size burgers, and I don't fucking give a fuck, It's like, that's what I need. That's what my body needs, because I fucking am working out, and I'm using my energy, I'm not just like sitting around all day. Well, as I'm like sitting in a chair like for the last 3 hours, I'm talking about how I'm not sitting around, but I'm not. I did Bikram yoga. I worked out 3 hours this morning, and I did Bikram yoga after that. So like, I'm not sitting around all day. All right, where are we at here now? You need more indica for more munchies. Mobius. Subi Luger saying that to Mobius. Yeah. Indica will definitely make you. It will slow you down a little bit. If you're doing sativa, you might be a little more wired and a little hyper. a little more hyper. By the way, this is something interesting. I have a friend that has the opposite effect. Have any of you ever heard of that? Where sativa actually calms her down, and indica actually like gives her anxiety and like speeds her up. I don't know if any of you have experienced that. I don't know anyone else who's like that. But I like bringing out the fringe cases, the edge cases, the people that like have like weird experiences, like the person I was talking about yesterday. Hold on, let me get through these chats first. Mobius, you were saying, can we have a Chicago counter? Chicago, that's how we do it in Chicago, old style. We have our old style beer, we drink our beers, we make the best food, and that's what we do here. And Chicago Southside Polish, huh? You don't mess with us, you don't mess with Southside Irish either. You'll end up in a place you don't want to be. Um, a Chicago counter would be cool. Like instead of a meditation counter. Okay, but you actually bring up a good point. I actually had thought about having a meditation timer, like just on the screen. Like because like I think pretty much everyone who does meditations on Twitch has a meditation timer that they set. And I get the reasoning behind it, right? Because then if you just show up, if you happen to show up during the meditation, you're like, oh, the meditation is going to be going on another 20 minutes. I can jump in, right? Or oh, the meditation is only going to be going on for another 30 seconds. So like this is not worth my time, right? I've opted to not use a meditation timer, and or a Chicago timer, as you would call it. The reason being is because I don't want people distracted by time, by the notion of time when they're meditating. That's exactly what I want people to step away from. I don't want them to think, to be in a state of like perfect oneness and feeling that love and light and perfect bliss within themselves, and then like open their eyes and be like, oh, it's 17 minutes left, only 7, and then close their eyes and try to regain composure and go back into that place of perfect oneness and love and joy, and then like open their eyes again and like look at the timer. It's like that's a distraction. The timer is a major distraction in my mind, at least. Like time has always been, the notion of the concept of time has always been like something that's been very that's fucked with me over the years. I used to like be like obsessed with time and like being everywhere super punctual and whatnot. And it's like, and you get older and you realize, fuck it. It's like if I'm a little late, it's like the world will go on, the world will continue, and half the time you're late, the other person's late anyway, And some cultures it's different, right? Like if you go to Italy, I don't know if anyone in this chat is from Italy. If you go to Italy and you show up on time, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing here? And you're like, because we scheduled this appointment at this time. And they're going to be like, no. That's not how it works here. Come back in like half an hour, and then that's like when you're supposed to be here. Like that's crazy to me, right? But Japan is the complete opposite. If you go to Japan, if you're like 3 seconds late, you're gonna like get a fucking knife to your head. I know that I'm joking, but like there could be repercussions. They value punctuality in Japan like really intensely. And America's kind of like we value punctualness a good amount, but like not everywhere, and not it's just kind of like a mixed bag in America. All right, where are we at here? Oh, Relect is here. Hey, good to see you. Relect. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going great. I hope you have abundance and love and light in your life today. You've noticed lately a trend of people speaking politics is somehow a social sin, yet politics is what drives everything. It does, and the qualification that the only qualification that I'll use is within this dualistic framework, right? It doesn't drive things within the heart, right? Like when you're in a state of perfect meditation and oneness, and when you feel nothing but divine love and energy for all of humanity, you're not sitting there thinking about like Trump and Biden, right? You're sitting there thinking about like the more fundamental level, right? The more foundational level of life and existence, and that's your heart. That place of oneness and love where you are one with everyone, right? Seems like speaking politics can create arguments, but not speaking of it creates a silent tyranny. Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Absolutely, people do need to discuss things, right? Absolutely. you need to discuss things. You need to, make choices that help, keep people more informed and knowledgeable about the world. Um, it's an interesting thing, though. Here's the one issue though that I have with politics, and I try to keep the stream away from politics, because the reason being is this is a place where we come for peace. This is a place where we come to experience the inner love and light. But I do talk about politics every now and then because it is important, right? It is important. Um, so how often though do two people come together, that are like, in a political debate, like let's say one person is a diehard, leftist, and one person is a diehard, Trump supporter. That this is just an American example because I'm just a Kokona, American Chicago style dude, right? But anyways, so it's like, how often do these two people like engage in debate, and it's becomes a productive debate, right? It just doesn't seem to be the case. It doesn't seem to be whatever really happens, or if it does happen, it happens with such infrequency that it's crazy, right? Like, I mean, I used this example the other day. It's like let's say you believe that abortion is wrong, right? And then you're talking with someone who believes abortion is right. That it's okay to have an abortion, right? Like, how often are you going to engage in that dialogue with them, and in that dialectic with them, and actually convince them that, guess what? Oh yeah, it turns out that abortion is okay. It is fine, right? You're never going to just sit down and like talk to someone about abortion and convince them to go the other way on it. And politics are so divided now that it's kind of the same thing. It's like at some point you got to think, how productive is this use of my time, right? Do you want to engage in a conversation with someone over politics that's probably going to end in an ego battle, right, between you and the other person, because neither of you are going to be willing to compromise or to reevaluate your underlying foundational political beliefs, right? Or do you want to like spend that time expressing love and light in the world, and like helping people in that sense? So that's kind of my view on the whole political scene. People come to the stream because a lot of times they want to get away from politics. They want to get away from all the conflict and craziness of this illusory dualistic framework in which we live in. And I believe that politics are a manifestation of our own internal condition. And so basically, I think that the politics are the effect. That's like the effect. And in order to resolve the actual issues that are occurring in politics, we need to actually go through and fix it at the cause, which is go through and find that perfect place of love and peace within us and spread that to the world. And when we can do that, and like we don't even have to talk about politics. The political spectrum becomes just non-existent because everyone is just treating everyone with perfect love and kindness, right? Here's my question that I want to pose for everyone. What use would political debate have, like, if everyone felt nothing but love and kindness towards all of humanity, right? Like, there wouldn't be that much. It wouldn't be as important, right? Sure, you'd need to know like how we're going to get things together to build roads and build bridges and whatever, right? But at the same time, like, it wouldn't matter as much because we'd feel that unconditional love and kindness, and we'd be willing then therefore to work as a team. And that's what we need. We need teamwork now more than ever. When everything in the world is trying to rip us apart, is trying to yank us apart, is trying to separate us from our fellow brothers and sisters on this planet, we need to bring it all together. We need to stand up and say, fuck you, divisive media. Fuck you, divisive ego, illusory dualistic ego framework. We don't want you to separate us anymore. We're going to go within to the place of truth, that place of pure love, and we're going to connect with all others only in that place of pure love. And once we do that, we're going to feel nothing but love and compassion for everyone, because we're going to realize that every single person out there is identical to ourselves. Whew. Let me take a drink of water. And that was without an even. I didn't even have the hydrate reminder there. I remembered to drink some water there, which is good. By the way, I got my gallon of water here. I go through 2 gallons, literally 2 gallons of water a day. And I have a big announcement to make. For the last 20 or like 15 years or so, I've been buying these jugs of water. All right, these jugs of water. I've been buying these jugs of water, and these distilled water. I've been drinking distilled water. And so like what I'll do is I'll literally go to Walmart, load up my fucking shopping cart with 18 gallons of distilled water. Like, you know, I don't know what, like once every week and a half or something. It's crazy. It's fucking it's or once every week basically, or once a week and a half. I don't know. I can't do math right now because I'm all like wired up. But anyways, yeah, like I've been doing this for all this time, and the reason being is because distilled water doesn't contain fluoride in it. Now everyone's like, oh, but fluoride's good for you. It's so good for your teeth. Blah blah blah. Look at Crest. Look at this. Look at that. Check out the primary literature, the primary scientific literature on fluoride. Don't listen to me. Do it on your own. Go and look at the actual reputable scientific journals and the research that they've done on fluoride in teeth. And guess what? After the age of 2 years old, fluoride has no impact whatsoever on promoting healthy teeth. Do the research on your own. Don't listen to me, because if you listen to me, you're just like, oh, who's this guy just talking, blabbing off stuff. No, do the research on your own. This is a fact. This is a scientific fact. Fluoride does not help your teeth. And so what is fluoride, and why is it in all of our water? Well, it turns out that fluoride is a byproduct of making steel. And it turns out a long time ago, people in the steel business were like, fuck, what are we going to do with all this fluoride? What are we going to do with this byproduct, this waste product that we have from our steel manufacturing process? What are we going to do with it? And they came up with the idea to put it in the fucking water and convince everyone it's healthy by promoting false fucking research that says it's like good for our teeth, when it's not after the age of 2. It's not. It does nothing for your teeth. And what else does fluoride do? Fluoride has negative benefits on our health, on our overall health. And it's literally like fucking poisoning us. It's one of those secret fucking poisons that no one even knows about, Do your own research though. Don't listen to me. Do your own research. That's what I like. I like bringing. I'll bring something up, but I'm not going to sit here and fucking ramble about it forever, because you're not going to believe it unless you actually read it in the journals yourself. And I'm not talking about shitty journals. I'm talking about stuff that's published by Harvard and Yale and Oxford. I'm talking about PhDs there that are publishing the research, that are actually like noticing this like weird thing about fluoride, right? So definitely keep that in mind. I just upgraded my water game though. This is where I was going with all this. I went on the big discussion. So I've been buying these fucking plastic jugs of water for all these years. And guess what? Guess what happens with plastic? And this is not the BPA or BPA free plastic, right? I'm getting fucking particles of plastic leaching into my water, right? Because I'm drinking these gallon jugs, and it's not a ton, but it is a little bit. And since I drink 2 gallons a day, it's like, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of fucking plastic that I'm getting into my system. I don't want that shit. So I went online and Brita filters, like people think, well, wait, I'll just get a Brita filter. Brita doesn't filter out fluoride. And I was under the impression that the only way to get fluoride filtered out of your water was either through create your own distillation apparatus, buy distilled water, or use reverse osmosis water. I think that also gets the fluoride out, right? But there's a brand that was like, that came out, I don't know, it's called Zero Water. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it's literally called Zero Water. And it literally takes the fucking fluoride out. It's got this 5-stage filtration system, and fluoride is a very small molecule, so it's able to like go in there and actually take the fucking fluoride out and filter it out. And then it even gives you a tester, and you can test the water before and after, and you can see the actual the fluoride removed from the water. It's incredible. I literally got it, so I got it today. Got it delivered on Amazon, and it was only like $60. And so I got it in my fucking kitchen now. So I'm not gonna have to go to the store and buy 18 jugs of water every day. I'm just gonna, I got this big glass, big glass container that fucking filters out all the crap. And sure, you have to buy replacement filters every now and then. I'll probably have to buy one like maybe once a month, but that's still way cheaper than buying like a ridiculous amount of water, right? So anyways, that's your science. That's the science lesson today on fluoride and water and whatnot. All right. By the way, those of you who predicted that I would go over 3 hours, you are all in the right today. You are all in the right. I just got supercharged. I got pumped up. To be perfectly honest, I have been feeling like terrible shit the last few days. I have been feeling in a horrible mental state, and I'll tell you why. Because on Wednesday, I went to go visit an old friend who has a fucking who had a brain tumor removed, and now she's fucking paralyzed. She's fucking paralyzed. Her whole left, she can move a little bit on the right side of her body, but the whole left side of her body is paralyzed for life. And it's like, dude, she's young, she's healthy, she's she was a young, healthy, normal human being in good shape, and now she's got to spend the rest of her life in a wheelchair or in bed. It's like, what the fuck? And that affected me so deeply that I've been in just like a horrific state of mind since Wednesday. And I know I've been coming on stream and like trying to keep things positive and trying to still connect with everyone and trying to spread love and light, but it is so hard. And those of you who have family members who are suffering or in the hospital, or family members that have passed, it's so hard to maintain positivity and a feeling of pure love and oneness when the people that you care most about in the world are dying or are sick or are going to be paralyzed for the rest of their lives. So that's been a major thing, and I feel like I'm overcoming it today. I feel like it was so traumatic for me to see her, she's just missing patches of hair, and it just looks like so pale and sickly. She's like a shell of the person she used to be, and I literally felt nauseous. I felt nauseous, and then that nausea turned into anger, and I just grew like fucking so mad. I was so mad, and I felt so pissed off and angry at the unfairness of the universe. The fact that like this person who's like young and healthy, who should be able to live like a good fucking life, and by the way, guess what her job was? She literally was a counselor, a pro bono counselor who basically devoted her life to helping others. So it's like, where's the fairness in that, right? That's what I was thinking. That was my mental process at the time, right? Where's the fairness in that? This person now just did nothing wrong, had a brain tumor. They fucked up the surgery didn't go well. There were complications. It's never good when doctors say complications. It's like, basically that's just meaning like, yeah, we didn't do it right. We fucked it up or whatnot, right? But there were complications, and now she's paralyzed the rest of her life, right? So like, I was so angry, I was furious, I was just, and I've been so unsettled. I've been like staying in bed, and like, I've been getting up, I've been working out, I've been powering through it. But then like when I have downtime, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go lay in bed. I'm just gonna go lay down on the fucking floor. I feel that shitty, and just listen to music, try to get my mind off it, because so it took me a few days to process this. This was just this last Wednesday that this happened. But like, I'm feeling this stream has helped me a lot. This meditation has helped me a lot, and just being here with all of you has helped me a lot. So thank you all so much for that. I really appreciate you all being here with me. And yeah, I think it's about time that we wrap things up. Let's see who we're gonna raid here. This is always a fun part. I love raiding people because you get to give back to the community that supports you and that helps you so much, And there's so many good people out here. Let's see. Check Meow is streaming, but I think it's got to be a rerun. Let me double check. I want to see if it's a rerun. I don't like I never raid people who are doing reruns. I think it's just a policy of mine. It's like the person can at least be there actually. Yeah, it's just a rerun and Check Meow's stream. So we're not going to raid Check. By the way, Allie or Mobius or Rilek, do you guys have any, Subi, do you have any suggestions of someone to raid? I have one guy here, Kevin Edward Music. He's pretty cool. He's a cool musician. Unless there's someone that you guys really feel like is awesome, someone maybe, because I've raided Kevin before. If there's someone that you think is really awesome and is worthy of a raid, and that maybe is not going to be like a toxic piece of shit, right? But is going to be like just like a decent human being, then shout out their name and I'll raid them. Otherwise, we're gonna go with Kevin Edward Music, who's actually an awesome musician. So maybe, you know what? Yeah, let's just go with him. Let's go with him, I guess, because no one's saying anything, and he's an awesome musician. Let's spread a lot of love and light into his world, and yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, thank you all so much for everything. I am truly humbled and honored to be your meditation guide and to be here sharing the sacred space with you. Namaste.